It's the Mixed Martial Arts Hour with
Excited that he's leading off the show. Apropos, if you ask me, we're talking to the UFC bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw. Right off the bat, he joins us right now via the phone. TJ, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate it as well. So, wow, what a week it has been for you. From what I understand, it was around this time last week, Monday of last week, that you informed some of the members of Team Alpha Male that you'll be going to Colorado for your next camp, in particular, Elevation Fight Team. And of course, once this news came out on Tuesday, it spread like wildfire, a lot of takes going back and forth. A week later, given the reaction and what has transpired since, are you still happy with the decision you made?
Oh, absolutely. There's no other way I would have made the decision. I mean, obviously, it's been really tough, actually a lot tougher than I even imagined. I thought it was going to be going over a little bit easier, but you really find out who people are when you got to make these kind of decisions.
So why tougher than you thought? What happened that you weren't expecting?
I thought some of the guys on the team would. I mean, actually, everyone did actually take it that way, but I feel that Uriah took it a little bit harder than I thought he was going to take it. I thought he was going to understand my position and understand where I'm at, and kind of feeling like he almost put me in this position.
In what respect?
I kind of want to talk about the position I've been put in. I've been stuck in between Uriah and Dwayne Ludwig for this last camp, going back and forth to my training camp, and these guys bickering at each other and making it tough on me. He brought a coach into Team Alpha Male in my last 2 years of my career that I learned to believe in, I learned to love, and I learned to trust with my career. And then he leaves, and then a bunch of drama happens, and I'm having to choose where I want to go and who I want to train with. Am I not supposed to train with a coach that I put all my faith into and help me win a world title? I believe if you go back and look at my fights in the last 2 years and see how my kickboxing has developed, I owe all that to Dwayne. It's a very, very tough situation to be put in.
So do you feel almost like your hand was forced, given what's happened, especially in the last couple months, that you had to make a decision one way or the other? Either you're staying with Alpha Male full-time or you're going to Colorado to be closer to Dwayne, but you couldn't keep doing what you were doing for the last couple fights?
Yeah, I guess so. Obviously more in this last week I was forced into a lot of more things than I thought was going to happen. My plan was, I told Uriah, look, man, I got a big fight coming up. I gotta do what I believe is best for me getting ready for this fight, and that's spending my whole camp in Colorado. I split it half and half my last camp, and it was really tough. It was hard to do, going back and forth. And I just felt, with the team they have out there, with the coaches they have out there, I felt a little more comfortable with spending my camp out there. And, he took it pretty hard, and I was actually forced out of the gym. I'm not allowed to work out at Alpha Male anymore because of that decision I made. I live in Sacramento. I've lived in Sacramento the last 6 years, and I've been putting in a lot of work here and helping the guys out as much as possible. I teach kickboxing classes on Mondays and Thursdays, and that's just not really going to fly with me when I get into camp. And it's tough for someone to not understand that I put my heart and soul into this team as much as I possibly can to kick me out of the gym. I'm not allowed to show my face at Alpha Male, which is kind of crazy to me.
How have you been handling that? Is that heartbreaking for you? You've been banned from a gym that you've been a part of for your entire career, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what's that like for you? How do you stomach that?
One day at a time, and I don't know, man, it's tough. Super tough. Just know that I'm making the right decision and that I got a big fight coming up, and ultimately that's the most important thing. I made this decision to train somewhere else. Like I said, I didn't think it was going to be as blown up and as ridiculous as it is now. But it's real tough, man. Especially when I'm best friends with all these guys. Not only is it training partners and guys I want to do well in their careers, but guys that I love and care about every single day. So it's a super tough thing going on.
How are you with Uriah now after that decision? And I don't know if you heard it, but I'm sure you've seen some quotes. He was on the Stud Show radio podcast, which is an Alpha Male podcast, talked a lot about this situation. After all of this, in the last 5 days or so, what's your relationship like with him?
I'm just trying to look past all this and understand that maybe his feelings are hurt. But, he kind of put me on blast when he went on that podcast. I'm trying to be the bigger man and not to bring out any negativity and and what he's doing here in Sacramento, because it'd be very easy for me to do so. Especially after him putting me on blast on Stud Show Radio when I went and just talked about the positives of Sacramento and the positives of me moving camps, and then he's got to get on there and talk a little crap and throw me under the bus. I just don't want to be that guy, and I want to keep my relationship going with him. And the only way to do that is to just look past it. I understand that his feelings are hurt that I'm going elsewhere, but I feel like he should understand it just like everyone else on the team. I feel it's a little bit more understandable with some other guys on the team, and he's his feelings are hurt, I guess. I want to continue a relationship with him. I want to continue to be his friend, so I'm just going to be the bigger man.
So are you done with Sacramento? Are you moving to Colorado full-time, especially now that you're no longer welcome at Alpha Male?
Yeah, I'm actually heading today. I'm catching a flight to Colorado to go and find a house to lease out there for the next year. I'm definitely set out there for the next year. Not saying I'm not going to be in Sacramento at all. My family lives here. They live an hour and a half from Sacramento. I've created a life here the last 6 years in Sacramento, so it's not like I'm not going to be here. I'm keeping my house in Sacramento, but I'm not allowed to be in the gym I'm not allowed to be in the gym in Sacramento, so it's almost kind of pointless to come back when getting better is in the off season. You prepare yourself in camp, you sharpen your tools in camp, you get better out of camp. And so if I'm not allowed to come back here and work out, then it's pretty ridiculous. I'm full-time in Colorado.
So, okay, so ever since this news came out, and I'm sure you've seen it because you look at your Instagram, your Twitter, it's amazing the amount of negativity that has been thrown your way, and a lot of it started with what Conor McGregor said about you. We talked about this on my show, and now you've been viewed as this, or painted as this Benedict Arnold, this quote-unquote snake in the grass. A lot of venom thrown your way. Has this blindsided you? Did you expect, when you knew that this was coming out, did you say, oh, okay, this is going to happen to a degree, but the amount in which it's happened, did that surprise you, or were you fully expecting that? Because it's been pretty amazing to just look at the comments. It's all negative towards you.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It was just, I guess, timing is everything, I guess, on that, and it all happens at the time of Conor calling this out. It's actually kind of ridiculous for him to call me a snake or a traitor, when the fact that I made a business decision. I feel like that's like Conor's thing, is making business decisions. It's all about business. The fight business, and I'm getting told I'm a snake because I made a business decision for my career, and that's just pretty hypocritical to me. And now we got all these people believing in what he says. If I'm a traitor, then I feel like he's even a bigger traitor to his country. He reps Ireland and he's a big countryman, and then he lives in the United States now. He moved to Las Vegas. Why? It's better for his career. It's business, and so I hope everyone understands that. Like, I'm just trying to stay on top. I want to become the best MMA fighter possible, and I need coaches to do so, and right now in Sacramento, I'm teaching kickboxing classes. Martin Campman's moving home. We have a great mittman as a boxing coach, but he's a boxing coach, we have to coach each other at Team Alpha Male right now, and that's a big problem for me. When I've noticed what a coach is going to do for you and how much better it can make you, I need that in my life. So it ultimately is a business decision. I can have these haters out there, but haters going to hate.
Dwayne isn't officially a part of Elevation Fight Team, although he lives in the same city, and I know he has a good relationship with Leister Bowling and those guys. If they weren't based in Colorado, and Denver in particular, would you have not even entertained that thought? Does this make it easier because he's there as well?
Oh, absolutely. The only reason why I even know about this great team is because of going to Colorado. So I wouldn't even have known about Elevation Fight Team and all the great coaches out there if I wouldn't have gone to Colorado. Leister Bowling is an awesome wrestling coach, and as well as a head coach, and he leads by example. He makes everyone accountable. He makes you feel bad for missing practice. They got Elliot Marshall teaching jiu-jitsu. Lauren Mandel, one of the best strength conditioning coaches out there. They got an awesome striking coach out there, Christian, that I'll be hitting mitts with, and then Dwayne. So, yes, Dwayne is a huge influence on this. I was going to work out with Dwayne no matter what. That's why I went to Colorado for my last camp. Not even knowing what was out there, I went out there. I just packed my stuff up and knew that I needed to be around Dwayne. He makes me more confident, and I know that I'm a better fighter around him. So, yeah, he's a huge influence on this.
When Uriah was on this show and spent around 80 minutes or so talking about the whole story between him and Dwayne and the falling out, if you will, was that the breaking point for you? Was that the final straw, or was it something else?
I wouldn't say it was the final straw. The final straw is just talking to some of the coaches out in Colorado and thinking about my career in the long run. That definitely helped. I mean, that wasn't very cool in my eyes. I mean, a lot of it was true, on both ends from what they've been saying about each other, but a lot of it's blown out of proportion too. And to go on an 80-minute rant about someone's a little bit ridiculous, and both those guys going back and forth at each other through the media is a little childish, and so that definitely helped me push me in one direction. But ultimately, it's about me wanting the best for my next fights and my career, and I think I'm going to grow more as an MMA fighter with some coaches around me.
When you first came out and talked about this news last Tuesday, you talked about it being a business decision and you getting paid, and who can fault you? You're a fighter for a very short amount of time. You got to make that money. We all understand that. Since then, Uriah on that show talked about how I think if you dedicated your life to mowing lawn for a year, you'd make the same amount. So, and even Brian Stan, while complimenting your decision, said maybe in hindsight you shouldn't have talked about the money because that leads to other issues. Guys compare. In hindsight, do you regret saying that, or are you fine with putting out the reasons? I think a lot of people appreciate that honesty, but it has brought upon these other comments.
Yeah, I mean, I don't regret it at all. It's just the fact of MMA. If I would have stayed here at Alpha Male, I would have put a lot of money in to be my own coach, to where I'm getting sponsored. It's a sponsorship from Muscle Farm that's willing to put some money behind me, not only money, but to set up my camp the way I need it, to bring in training partners that I need, to figure out the best situation for me to be the best fighter possible. So, no, I don't regret talking about it. It's a situation I couldn't pass up. It was on my mind. I'm a very honest person, and I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. I can't really hide any details of what's going on. And I'm in a very fortunate situation, and Muscle Farm believes in me, and I want to believe in what they're going to do for me.
Are they paying you big money to go over there?
No, I wouldn't say it's definitely not huge money, but it definitely makes a difference. Okay, here's what it does. It's pretty much just going to help me pay for my coaching. I still have to pay for my coaches. I still have to do that. It's just helped me do so. It's pretty much the same thing as getting me a sponsored monthly from someone else. It's helped me figure out my camp and be able to put as much energy into my camp as well. I don't have to go and mow lawns, if that makes a difference.
Right.
For the camp.
You're no dummy. I know you see the comments out there and what people in the media and fans are saying. This is all leading to a fight between TJ Dillashaw and Uriah Faber. Are you open to this fight now based on what's happened over the past week?
I didn't think I would be until Uriah started saying the stuff he did. He's the one saying that he's more than willing to fight me now, And I thought we were a lot closer friends than that. I've put my heart and soul into this team, and I thought we were a lot closer than that. So, I mean, he's obviously looking for, I think, a big fight in his career, and I don't want to have to do it, but, I'll be the last statement on his career if that needs be, but that's not the way I really want to do it.
But now, he talked about Dana White asking him twice and him turning it down. If you get that call after Cruz that they want you to fight Faber, you can understand why they would want it. The amount of attention this has received is pretty insane. Do you say yes at this point?
Yeah, probably most likely, yeah.
And given your training sessions in the past, how confident are you? Because he knows a lot about you. I mean, he helped groom you into the fighter you are today to a degree. Is this a fight you're comfortable as far as skill versus skill is concerned?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. How strange would that be for you and with your relationship to the guys, or do you feel like there is no more relationship with those guys anymore? You're your own.
No, there's definitely a relationship with the guys, even with Uriah. I mean, I don't want to have to fight Uriah. That's not something I want to do. I love the guy. I think the ball's in his court. I'm the champion. I have the belt. The ball's in his court, and what he wants. I'm leaving it that way. What he wants to do. I want to keep relationships with all these guys. I love them all. They're family to me, not only teammates. There's not one guy on that team I don't like. Even the guys coming up, they're gonna have a future at Team Alpha Male with all the young guys coming up. They have some studs coming out of that room. It's a bunch of iron sharpening iron. I just feel that they could benefit from having some coaches there. They could benefit from me being around teaching kickboxing classes. Which I've already been doing, but now I'm forced out of the gym, which is very hurtful. It's just I need a coach as well. I can't be coaching everyone else and coach myself. And I just don't understand how Uriah doesn't see that. The sport is growing. The sport is becoming amazing. There's guys like Sage Northcutt coming in at 19 years old and looking good. These guys are going to catch up to us, and I got to continue to get better.
I understand Joseph Benavidez got married on Friday. You were all there. I saw pictures of this photo evidence. What was that like? I mean, I saw pictures of you sort of next to Uriah. Did you guys talk? Did you try to clear the air, or was it awkward?
No, it was good, man. I mean, it's fine. I mean, maybe I guess a little bit of awkwardness, but no, I mean, I'm fine with it. You know, I mean, he's making his decision. I guess maybe strictly off of business too. Who knows? You know, I'm going to be the bigger man, like I said, and I want to continue a relationship with you. I don't want this to be a bunch of drama. You know, so I'm trying to continue life as it was. You know, I had a great time at the wedding. It was one of the best weddings I've ever been to. It was amazing.
Are you fully expecting in the back of your mind, given how big of a fight this would be after Cruz, that you're going to be offered this?
Yeah, I've definitely talked about it, you know, with my management, with my wife. You know, it's probably something that's going to be pushed towards me, I'd imagine. You know, I guess it's just, I'd imagine Zeus was pretty happy about this.
Yeah. Do you think that, you know, I mean, you can't foresee the future, but it's amazing. You still have 3 months, more than 3 months before the Cruz fight. How are you going to, every single interview that you do from now till then, I bet, and it's amazing, the Cruz fight is a fascinating fight. Like I said, I think to you, last time we were on the show, it's maybe the fight I'm most looking forward to stylistically coming up. And I would imagine like 80% of your interviews are going to be about this topic. How are you going to deal with that distraction?
So that's what I'm dealing with it now. You know, I'm getting everything I want out now. I'm coming on your show now and speaking my mind. When my fight gets closer and I get into camp, I'm going to tell them, if you want to ask me a fight about me and Dominick Cruz, I'm more than happy to do an interview with you. If you want to talk about me leaving Team Alpha Male, I will not do an interview with you. If you ask me that question at all, I will stop the interview. You know, it's just the way I'm going to have to play it. I mean, this isn't about me and leaving Team Alpha Male. It's like, what about all these other fighters that leave camps to go to different camps to become a better fighter? Like, this is being blown out of the water. And if you want to ask me about Dominick Cruz, the biggest fight of my life coming up, by all means, I'll talk about it and how I'm going to win this fight. But anything else, I will just stop the interview.
Why do you think it's being made into such a big deal?
You know, maybe just because of the fact of how close Team Alpha Male is. You know, we haven't had anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had guys leave, and no one that's been the prime group of the last 6-7 years. You know, I mean, we've all stuck through. We've worked through some problems and tried to figure some things out. That's why we brought Dwayne in. You know, I mean, that's the only reason why Dwayne even came in is because a bunch of the guys met up with Uriah and told him we needed a coach. Uriah did a great job of research on who we should bring in, and it was a fantastic thing. You know, and then it turned into this. So it's just because I think I'm the first one of the big name that's leaving from the team.
Just throwing it out there, do you think part of it has to do with the fact that you're the first champion? Did you ever feel afterwards that there was any resentment towards you?
Oh, I didn't. They've done a great job backing me. You know, every guy in my weight class, every guy on the team's done a great job supporting me, and you know, I actually never felt any resentment. You know, maybe there is, I don't know, but I definitely did not feel it. You know, they've done a great job staying as a family. You know, I mean, I think it's just, I don't know. I don't know what this is all about.
Yeah, and of course, I should clarify, first UFC champion, of course, Uriah Faber, decorated WBC champion. But, I mean, it's a big deal. It's a much bigger stage, and you were the first. That will always be the case. So right now, you know, you're going to Colorado. Is that it? I mean, are you all packed up, or you're just going to check it out? You're coming back to Sacramento. I would imagine Sacramento, not a very big place. You're going to run into these guys. It's gonna linger until you leave, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hope I run into these guys. Like I said, I'm family with them. I want to continue to be friends with these guys. Yeah, I leave today to go find a house. You know, I don't have all my stuff packed up yet. I need to figure out where I'm living and figure out that whole situation. I'm going to go out there and get some practicing in right now since I can't practice here, you know, other than shadow boxing in my backyard doing whatever. But go out there, practice, find a house, hang out with the team. You know, that's one thing that I feel bad about as well is that the guys that started the Elevation Fight team, the guys that are out there that are already really good, are I feel like getting overlooked by this. You know, you got the Neil Magny's, the Brandon Thatches, the Tony Stens, you know, the guys that aren't even in the UFC that are amazing. One of my best sparring partners for my last 3 or 4 camps, Corey out there. You know, there's so many talented fighters out there that I don't want them to be overshadowed by this drama that's going on. You know, I'm moving into an established great team, and I'm excited about it, and I'm glad they're letting me come. You know, they're letting me join their team.
In the back of your mind, can you understand why Uriah said to you, you can't come to the gym anymore, or do you feel like that's completely off base and unfair?
I do think it's unfair. I mean, I can understand where he's coming from. Him thinking that I have to leave to do what I can because it's not good enough there. You know, that's a hard truth. You know, I mean, hopefully it lights a fire under his ass and he fixes some things that happen for the rest of the guys. You know, but I do think it's unfair because I've given back. I feel more to this team than he has in the last few years. You know, I'm in there teaching practice when he's not even in the gym. You know, it's funny, he said since his whole announcement of me saying I was leaving, he's seen me more at the gym. The only reason why he's seen me more at the gym is because he's been around more. I'm the one putting in all the hard time there and teaching classes and being there. I'm one of the guys that's in the gym year round. So yeah, I do feel like it's unfair. I feel like I put in a lot of effort to make the team better.
What about this reputation that you have this temper and that you hurt guys and things like that? Is that unfair?
I definitely have something I've had to work on. It's just my competitive edge, in practice. I definitely don't do it maliciously. It's something that I'm just an aggressive. Like when I get into sparring, I spar a little bit aggressive. I'd say I got blown out of the water. It's definitely a fault of mine that I have, but I think it was harped on a little bit too much. I'm aggressive. I feel like that's what's won me my world title though as well. But I've had to control it, and I have to continue to try to control it as need controlled aggression. To bring it out when I need it. Yeah. I don't know.
The two last quick things, and then we'll let you go. And I really appreciate the time. He used this term family, and actually, I do really believe that the alpha male team is a family. Like when you won the belt, it was amazing to look at your teammates react to the win because you can tell there was no jealousy there. They were so happy for you. Do you feel like that's salvageable at all to still remain a part of that family? Just you're part of the sister camp, if you will, and you're still viewed as, one of those guys? Or do you think as time goes on, because it's all well and good a week later to say you want to be a part of it, but you know how this thing will blow up. Do you think as time goes on, it's just going to be impossible to remain that way?
I don't think so. I think as time goes on, it'll make it easier.
Okay.
At least I hope so. I hope some feelings get less hurt from it. But I'm definitely going to put my effort in to try to continue to be a part of this family because it's helped me in so many ways with just life and my career. There's no way of around it. I love these guys. So, I think we'll see that it'll be a little bit easier here in the near future, actually, even too.
And like I said, this situation has been brewing for quite some time, and I think anyone leaves another camp and we don't see this coming, it's just a story, a guy leaves a camp. But because of the back and forth and all that, it's turned into this soap opera, if you will. Is there anything that in hindsight you wish you could have done differently, or is this the case of a champion somewhat outgrowing his team and looking to remain as competitive as possible, keep that edge, and go find some fresh training elsewhere? Is that all that this is, or is there more to it that you wish you could have done differently?
That is what it is. Everything you just said. The only thing I would have done differently is maybe the timing. Maybe I should have done it before Conor McGregor decided to talk some crap on Ultimate Fighter, and then all of his minions are going to follow and talk a bunch of crap. That guy's a very influential person. He's growing huge. He's smart with his words. I think he saw this coming before Uriah did. He knew that I have a close relationship with the coach. Like that's something you can't pass up. Once you get that relationship, I have a guy that works harder at his job than I do. And that's, it's hard to find. So I guess, just the timing. I would have done it maybe probably earlier, if I could have.
Okay.
I was trying to figure this out, though. I was trying to salvage what I have as a family. I was trying to figure out, hopefully we're going to switch some things up. We're going to bring in some coaching, and it's going to be a different situation. So I was trying to hold on as long as I possibly could to this because, like I said, it's a very tough situation for me. Even just to tell Uriah that I wanted to do my full camp in Colorado was a really hard thing for me to do. I wish I would have done it earlier, but it was hard because I was trying to hold on to something.
Last quick thing, was this 100% your decision, or did Dwayne try to get you to go over, Leister Bowling, anyone else try to recruit you to leave the team?
Oh, 100% mine. Yeah, when Uriah said that Leister recruited me, that was kind of crazy. Because Leister is the one that told me, he's like, do what's best for you. If staying in Sacramento is best for you, then you need to do that. He's like, he wasn't telling me, it was before anything of me being sponsored came into the question, saying that, I need to figure out what's best for me. And do you think traveling back and forth is the best thing, staying in one spot? And he likes me as a person. I like him as a person. And he just wanted the best for me. He didn't try recruiting me. It was me making this decision all on my own.
TJ, really appreciate you coming on, especially before your flight. Good luck with the move and looking for a place and all that. Good luck with this transition. And, of course, good luck in camp. Thanks so much for the time.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, there he is, the UFC bantamweight champion, TJ Dillashaw, joining us. A emotional week, a hectic week for him. A lot of news coming his way and from his neck of the woods in Sacramento. What a story this has been. And like I said, I think a lot of people As much as there are some who feel like, oh, this is all about mano a mano and martial arts, everyone's attracted to this kind of soap opera, this kind of drama, and it's one that we've been seeing for quite some time. And when you throw out words like family and the references or the similarities to The Godfather and all that, I mean, this is a guy who was brought in by Uriah Faber, and they appear to have had a great relationship, and he became a champion. He was a part of a very tight-knit team. I think he nailed it. Not a lot of guys leave Alpha Male. And the reason for that is, I mean, they're just a bunch of good guys that everyone seems to get along, and there's no reason for that. They've really developed something amazing from the ground up in a very short amount of time. For one guy to leave and him also being the champion, it starts to raise questions, and we saw this coming a long time ago. I mean, it turned into this crazy story, and it all came to a head last week, and I can imagine it's going to play out for weeks and months to come. Very excited to talk to the man who will hopefully be fighting TJ Dillashaw sooner rather than later. The uncrowned champion, the king without a crown, Dominick Cruz. Dominick, are you there?
What's up, Ariel?
Thank you for the time, Dominick. I almost called you Donovan Tarr. How about that? Donovan, I would never, ever in a million years compare you to Donovan Tarr. You are on a whole other level, my friend. Thank you for the time. What did you make of TJ Dillashaw's performance on Saturday?
TJ did what he needed to do to beat, Barao. I think stylistically, 9 out of 10 times Dillashaw beats Barao, no matter what, just because of the style matchup. I mean, Dillashaw knew what he needed to do to offset a conventional counter-striking Barao, and he did it. So he did his job to look sharp on that night.
Do you think this win, this second win for Dillashaw over Barao, signifies the fact that Barao should move up? Are you seeing something in his game that's telling you that this guy is hurting himself by fighting at 135?
No, I don't see that. I think he'll be very successful. I think that the sport's evolving, and the guys who aren't choosing to evolve with the sport are getting beaten. I never thought Barao was as good as everybody said he was, but I couldn't say that because I've been on the sidelines, and Dana White was preaching about him like he's, the next Jesus in coming. So you just kind of got to hear what Dana says and let him say what he wants about people to build the 135-pound division. With me gone, let's face it, they needed to build anybody they could in that slot. Barao was the guy that needed to be built because I wasn't there. And then when TJ came up, now he's the guy that's got to be built because I'm not there. That being said, the division's just been trying to strive and build with me gone. Now that I'm coming back, it can get back on its feet again. That's the truth.
Which TJ impressed you more, the one at 173 or the one on Saturday? Because he fought a different fight, right?
He did not.
He did not.
He did not fight a different fight. He fought the exact same fight. The only difference is TJ's getting more comfortable figuring out who he is. The truth in this whole matter is TJ didn't know he was a champion until he beat Barao. Then he beats Barao and says, wow, I'm a champion. I didn't know that. And then he goes on and he beats Joe Soto. Then he's like, oh, well, maybe I do belong here. Then he goes back and he beats Barao again. Yes, I belong here. So what's happened is you saw the first fight with Barao, and then you saw transformation in Dillashaw where he's starting to move into his position as champion, starting to believe it into himself, getting comfortable in his own skin out there, doing some showboating, listening to Bruce Buffer say his name. All that stuff is getting comfortable in his own skin. And that's what made the fight look different. It was not the style at all or the way that he fought at all. It's just his comfort levels in there, I believe.
But did you think he moved a little less? He switched stances a little less? It felt like he was a little more uniform in that sense.
He fought in his southpaw stance more than anything. But what won this fight was the race. Barao's never willing to race. Once he gets hit, he's looking for that big counter shot because he doesn't want to step in and get hit again when he's trying to be offensive. Every time he tried to be offensive, Dillashaw wasn't there, so it frustrated Penn to miss. Then when he starts missing, Dillashaw shows up and starts looking for counters because he knows if he counters Dillashaw, he knows where he'll be. The problem is you can't counter somebody who feints and who switches stance because after they feint in a conventional stance and then switch to southpaw, now the counter that you thought was there when you're fighting a conventional fighter has now switched to southpaw, so the counter you were looking for is no longer there. That kept Penn Barao completely offset the whole fight, and that will always work against Penn Barao no matter who you are.
What's it like watching a TJ Dillashaw fight in 2015 or late 2014 alongside Dominick Cruz? Are you like, this guy's biting my style? This is the junior me. How do you react to what you see in his fights?
I see absolutely no similarities between my fighting style and TJ Dillashaw's. And the reason I say that is we do different things. He's switching stance and I'm not. I'm doing something totally different that nobody understands. I don't know if you remember this, Ariel, but you could have watched my fights and listened to the commentary on my fights 4 years ago. And when I was doing things, it was awkward, herky-jerky, never seen before. It was just weird. I got this weird style that doesn't make sense. Now 4 years has gone by. People can get a degree in 4 years. So the game has changed in the last 4 years. Now you're hearing the commentary of TJ Dillashaw moving his feet, using feints and switching stance, and instead of it being awkward, different, and weird, it's beautiful to everybody else. So the point is, the sport is evolving. People are starting to see the use of switching stance, the use of feints, the use of angles, the use of moving, the use of making people miss, the use of footwork. That's happened over the last 4 years since I've been out. Now, my style is being appreciated. When I go out there, people will see TJ Dillashaw is nothing but a wannabe. And I look forward to going out there and proving, that I'm the best in the world. I'm in an extremely awkward position, Ariel, where you can only talk so much and only be so confident on the outside where people are going to listen to you when you can't go out there and compete. So there's only so much I can really say, I have to sit on my words right now. I have to sit on my hands because I'm injured. And that's all you ever hear from Twitter. Yeah, keep talking, Dominic, as you sit on the sidelines. You're nothing but a hurt individual. These are the things that people are saying. So this is the way that the general public is thinking when I talk. That being said, I'm very careful with the words that I choose because I can't go in there and compete quite yet. TJ Dillashaw is out there competing. So kudos to him for staying healthy and being able to keep the division rolling. But when I come back, the real fights are going to get started and people are going to see what this division is really capable of with me as the champion.
How difficult is it to hear people say, oh, he's like Dominic, to hear people say, oh, stop talking, you're injured, to see TJ walking around with that belt now, defeating Brow, people saying he's the best bantamweight in the world. How difficult is all of this?
Really, I don't really take much advice, or I don't really take much, like when people make a statement about me or when people make it a comparison, they don't know what they're comparing. Like I said, 4 years ago when I used this style, nobody knew what it was. I had coaches, I had Joe Rogan, I had all these people saying that it was just awkward and weird. Now it's a style because TJ Dillashaw took feints, footwork, and switching stance from the style that I created. Those are the only three things he took from it. Now it's become something that's respectable. So I got to say, it's a good thing TJ went out there and kept fighting and kept getting famous and kept winning. Because now, when I come back, I have a match. I had cleaned out the division 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Completely cleaned it out. And it hasn't changed, Ariel. The division really has not changed much. Uriah Faber could have the title right now, but he's scared to fight TJ and get beat by him. So he's just going to stay in that miscellaneous floating area. And then you have Austin Sao, who's hurt. So really, it's just been Barao and TJ that are there to fight. I haven't fought those two, but other than that, I've beaten almost everybody else in the division, or they've dropped to 125 pounds.
So where do we stand right now? End of July 2015. When do you think you'll be 100% and ready to fight?
My goal right now, Ariel, I'm feeling really good. I just literally finished my strength workout here at SSL with Gavin McMillan. I'm still working with him on my strength stuff and getting strong and stability, and I'm looking to be back at the new year. That's my goal. The new year is my goal. Either that first New Year card or the one before it.
Oh.
If my knee's not feeling good by then I'll push it back. But the truth is, I don't need to say an exact date because I have nothing that I need to hold up on. I'm not the champion right now.
Right.
I'm not in the top 5 rankings right now. I don't have anything that people are waiting for to try to take from me except my fame. So when I come back, the only thing TJ's looking for is my fame, to bite off of it, because nobody believes he's champion right now. I mean, they think he's good, but they don't believe he's champion, and that's why they couldn't sell the fight in Chicago. The gate was terrible in Chicago with Renan Barao and TJ Dillashaw. They couldn't sell it. One, they knew that it was a perfect matchup for TJ. Two, they know that TJ is just using things that I've used to be successful. He admitted that. And 3, they knew that was a perfect style matchup for TJ against Renan Barão to give him another win under his belt. If you look at the wins that TJ has had, he doesn't know if he's a champion yet, Ariel. He has to fight me to believe that. The reason is he only beat Renan Barão. That's the only guy in the top 5 he's beaten. He lost to Austin Sal. Austin Sal was in the top 5 when he lost to him. He lost to John Dodson when John Dodson was in the top 5. And he's only beaten Renan Barão. Then he beat Joe Soto, who's now, I think he might be, is he even in the UFC anymore?
Well, he did lose his last fight, but I don't know if he got cut.
There you go. So that's my point. He hasn't fought anybody to be a champion. TJ Dillashaw still needs to fight somebody as good as me to even believe in himself. He has no clue what he's facing, and he has no clue what it is to face a real champion because he got given the opportunity for me being hurt. Renan was already an interim belt holder, and then he beat the interim belt holder to think he's champion? I don't think so. He's lucky I've been hurt.
I asked TJ about you on the post-fight show. I want to play you what he said and get your response, okay?
Okay.
Here it is. Are we going to see you versus Dominick Cruz next? Is that what you want? Because he was tweeting about it tonight.
As long as he stays healthy, I mean, I don't know if he can. I mean,
you're worried?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, he keeps training, he keeps getting injured, but let's see. Come on, Dominick.
He's right there. Tell him. Look at
Heal that chicken leg up and let's get after it.
Wow. But is that the fight you want in a perfect world?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, he's the guy that used to be the champ that went out on top due to injury, and I definitely feel that I could beat the guy. I'm a lot more of a harder hit. He likes the footwork, but I'm gonna hit him a lot harder. I'm gonna beat the guy up.
What'd you make of that?
Well, I mean, he can say all that. That's the same stuff that everybody said. What did Faber say? He doesn't hit hard. I'm going to beat him up. I'm going to cut him off, take it from me. He didn't do none of that. What did Scott Jorgensen say? I'm going to out-wrestle him. I'm a better D1 wrestler. He doesn't hit hard. I'm going to cut off the cage and beat him. What did Joseph Benavidez say? I'm going to switch stance. I throw switch kicks. I'm going to throw high kicks. I mix in my wrestling. I've got a good guillotine. I'm going to submit him, and I'm going to knock him out. What did Demetrius Johnson say? I'm going to keep him moving backwards. I'm going to cut off the cage. I'm going to switch stance. I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to knock him out. He doesn't hit hard. What's TJ Dillashaw saying? I hit harder. I'm going to knock him out. He thinks he's champion. He's not. It's all the same stuff, Ariel. This guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. He learned the style that he's won a championship with by watching me fight. He learned from me. Just like you see kids dunking the basketball with their tongue out trying to be Michael Jordan, you see TJ Dillashaw trying to switch stance, trying to look like Dominick Cruz. That's all there is to it. He needs me to be who he is. The bottom line is I make his career worth anything. I'm the only fight he needs to be worth anything. So he should be thanking me for being out as long as I have because it's given him a chance to have a spotlight. Otherwise, he'd just still be the least of alphas at his Team Alpha Fail team. After he loses to me, he will be basically the alpha male of Team Alpha Fail. I will have beaten them all. I look forward to that day. So he can make fun of my chicken legs and he can say all this stuff, but I can't help injuries. Trust me, I'd much rather be stacking up money like he is, fighting, interim champions. But I'm hurt. I'm on the outside giving him pointers on how to beat these guys on Fox Sports 1, and he's learning. So I look forward to getting in there and fight Ariel. And the truth is, I tip my hat to him because he's been able to get in there and keep the ball rolling at 135 pounds. But he just can't beat me, man. He just doesn't understand. He's never fought somebody who he can't hit. He talks about the power he has. I have 80% striking defense. I don't even know what his is, but I promise you it's lower than mine. And that's going to be the difference in this fight is the fact that he cannot hit me no matter what. Don't care how strong he is, he won't hit me.
So I guess there's no need to ask you about Bang Ludwig saying earlier in the show that he's going to knock you out in the second round.
No, it doesn't mean anything because Dwayne Ludwig is the same guy who told Benavidez, just keep going forward on Demetrius Johnson. He doesn't sit down on his punches. He can't knock you out. What happened to Benavidez?
Yep.
He got knocked out. And that's because Dwayne Ludwig told him, don't worry about Demetrius Johnson knocking you out. Just go forward. He doesn't hit hard. Dwayne Ludwig could learn something from me. I could be Dwayne Ludwig's coach. That's straight up. And so could Eric Del Fierro. So he is smart. The smartest thing TJ Dillashaw ever did was leave Team Alpha Male because he's not going to be able to do nothing with those guys. Ludwig already said that. He already told Alpha Male that. They got all sad and started crying about it on Twitter. But I see the same thing that Dwayne Ludwig does, and that's what TJ Dillashaw sees also, and that's why he's not at Alpha Male training anymore. He's up in Colorado.
Well, he is doing a little bit there, but I get your point.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say is he's talking about that, but how do you knock somebody out who doesn't get hit?
Let me ask you this final thing. Perfect world. I've heard some theories thrown out. Oh, you should get a warm-up fight. You've been out, this and that. When you're 100%, you want the title shot, right?
Of course.
No
I
more.
already fought
Yeah.
Mizugaki when I came back after that. I was out 3 years. That was 2 ACL injuries and a torn quad. 3 injuries back to back to back. So after that, I just wanted to make sure I could get in the roll of things. That was 3 years. This one has been 9 months. You see, that's nothing compared to 3 years. This will be a cakewalk compared to what I went through before. I eat ACL surgeries for breakfast, man. This is nothing. I'll be coming back strong as ever, looking just as sharp as I did against Mizugaki, and I'll be winning my belt back. And when I win it, it's not going to be for me anymore. It's going to be for everybody who thinks that people are counting them out. That win's going to be for everybody who says, you know, you can't do something. Just all you have to do is believe you can do it yourself. That's the only thing you have to do is just believe that you can do it. And then all everybody else says is just a bunch of crap. Dwayne Ludwig talking a bunch of nonsense about knocking me out. He doesn't know anything. Have you heard him on an interview? He's stuttering the whole time. The guy's been hitting his head too much already. So the bottom line is these guys don't understand what I bring to the table. They don't understand the style I bring. They don't understand any of it. They think they do, but everything is a trap. I'm going to trap TJ, and he's going to get slept.
Sweet Mother Mary. Wow. Dominick, I have missed you. I have missed this, Dominick. This is amazing stuff. I said earlier on the show, this is the fight. This is the best stylistic fight that the UFC could put on. And it's one of the most interesting, fascinating fights that, you know, I mean, it just doesn't get any better than this. And now you've made me want to pay. I would pay all the money to watch this fight. Wow, you have just gotten me so damn excited for this. I wish we were in January right now. Amazing. I love the fire. I wish you nothing but the best. I can't wait till you return to your 100%. As I said on the show, I'm praying to the MMA gods everything goes all well with you and that you can come back and we can finally see this thing. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you're probably tired after PT. I really, truly appreciate it, and I wish you the best, my friend.
You know, Ariel, I just want to say one last thing to
Please.
Everybody who, you know, agrees with TJ, agrees with all these guys saying, you know, Dominick's just going to get injured again. I can't control that at all. I'm working as hard as I can to be a world champion, and I'm doing everything I can to make that happen. I'm training safe as I can, and I'm doing everything I can. So that's all I'm going to continue to do. I will get in there healthy, and the bottom line is I always follow through with my word. If there's anything you can look back at throughout my career, it's when I say something, I do it. So keep a lookout, because I'm going to school TJ Dillashaw, and he's going to stay number 2.
Wow. Love it. Thank you, Dominick. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Wow. Holy moly. Dominick Cruz. That was unbelievable. I have never heard Dominick Cruz like that. Have you ever heard him like that? I'm just throwing that out there. Feel free to respond. I have never heard Dominick Cruz like that. That was unbelievable. See, the thing about Dominick is he can talk smack. He can say, but this guy is so smart, analytical, that when he talks smack, he's also kind of breaking it down for you as well. He's not just saying, like, I'm going to knock you out, period. He actually kind of, you know, like he's just such a great mind, one of the very best as far as TV analysts are concerned. And he just, I mean, you just feel a lot dumber as far as your MMA knowledge is concerned, but it's just, you just eat it up. I've been interviewing Dominick Cruz for a long time. I have never heard him like that before. Is it January yet? Wow. Think about that buildup. Forget about the rivalry with Alpha Male. I mean, wow. Could you imagine watching a Dillashaw fight and listening to the commentators compare him to Cruz, sitting next to Cruz, listening to that? Wow. I don't even smoke. I've never put a cigarette to my lips, ever, in my life. I need a cigarette after that. Amazing. There's one guest that in the 5.5 years of doing this show that we have been unable to get on the air. One guest. There's only one name left. And he joins us right now. Nate Diaz is live on the MMA Hour right now. Nate, are you there?
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Hey, Nate, how are you? What a pleasure this is.
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to have you on the show. It's great to finally have you on the show. I know you're a big fan of the show, big fan of talking to us, so thank you very much for the time today. Let's get into it. There's a lot to talk to you about. We were just talking about it at the beginning of this show with Mark Coleman. He was very excited about Matt Brown versus Nate Diaz. I spoke to you a little bit about this last week. Are you going to fight Matt Brown at UFC 189?
Oh, I don't know yet. I haven't talked to anybody about the fight, and it hasn't been negotiated, so I'm waiting to find out.
Can you explain to me what exactly happened there? Because, you know, we came out.
What did Mark Coleman say? Was he pumped about the fight, or did he want me to get my ass kicked, or what was his thought?
Well, truth be told, he's a big Columbus, Ohio guy, so he was excited about Matt Brown. He said he's very close to Matt Brown. He says he talks to him and watches him all the time. So he was excited about that fight. He was excited about the matchup and all that. He sounds like he's a Matt Brown guy, but he only had nice things to say. It wasn't like he was rooting for you to fail or anything like that.
No, it's all good. I know. I figured it. Same area, probably.
Yeah.
Cool.
But can you explain what exactly happened here? Because it came out, it was announced, all that stuff, and then you told me that you never agreed to it. So how was it announced? What happened?
Yeah, no. I was told that the Brown fight was talked about, but they were supposed to work out a deal and figure it all out and negotiate the fight the next Monday. And then all of a sudden, I never necessarily okayed the fight. The fight was never negotiated. So, and then all of a sudden, it was like I was getting blown up about the fight. So I think that that's a great fight. You know, everybody would want to see that fight. I would if I was just a fight fan. I think that would be that sounds like an awesome fight, like fight to see, but it was never talked about, and I don't appreciate it being, it's kind of like, it's like I'm being like forced into a fight, you know, instead of talked to and dealt with fairly. So the fight, like I said, the fight was never negotiated. I just heard about it just like everybody else, kind of blown out of proportion, so. But I like the fight. It sounds good. It sounds great. I don't like the circumstances of the fight. I think I deserve better, and he deserves better than to be on the undercard and to be on this big things, big contribution to Mr. Conor McGregor's pocket. You know, I think that they're talking about him blowing up all these records of being the highest pay-per-view draw and the highest watched fighter. It's probably because they're putting me and Matt Brown on the undercard and Robbie Lawler on the undercard. Like, I think Robbie Lawler should have spoke up a little more about that too, being on the undercard and have a card like that. But I know how it is. It probably worked out good for him. So I think it's going to be a great card, and I think if I'm going to fight a great, exciting fight where a lot of people are going to tune in to see me fight someone like Matt Brown, who's a great fighter too, I think that it should be work a little more towards our end of the deal so that everybody else is, if that makes any sense.
So are you saying you would prefer to be the main event? You feel like that fight is big enough to be a main event? You don't want to be on sort of, I don't know if you're on the undercard per se, but below a Conor McGregor fight?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, I'm okay with being on undercards and stuff and whatever, but that's definitely a main event fight right there, especially with the fight card that has been going on. It's ridiculous. I just, they're making a humongous card. And like I said, benefiting the main event, and I don't got nothing against the main event. That's great for them, but those are the circumstances I'm talking about. There's never negotiated. No one ever told me what, where, when, and how. I just heard maybe Matt Brown, maybe Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis has been, or he hasn't been. He just said something about fighting me. I've been talking about fighting him for a long time, and I don't care whether it's Matt Brown, because Matt Brown's a big fight. Pettis is a big fight, and these are the fights I'm looking for. Is big fights and exciting fights. I'm not into fighting boring people, fighting boring fights, and being on boring fight cards, which this one wouldn't be. But I would like to know a little bit more about what I'm doing instead of just being strong-armed into a fight. I don't need to hear that I'm fighting this guy now. Before it was even negotiated, worked out, and now I'm saying no, that fight is not official, and now it's like I'm the guy not taking the fight or pulling out of a fight, but it's like that's not the situation at all because I like the fight. I just would like to be appreciated a little better and make sure stuff's confirmed before it's just blown out of proportion.
And so when we spoke about this briefly on Thursday, I mean, that was 4 or so days ago. Has anything changed? Has anything, happened since then? Has anyone reached out to you and tried to clear the air? Where do we stand right now with the fight?
That's what I'm saying. I haven't talked to anybody about anything.
Still?
Yeah, still. The fight hasn't been, it's just, they just have they have the push power. They say I'm fighting and I'm fighting now, so I don't think so. It don't work like that. Maybe with all these other guys out here, but I think that if you Ariel, if you're gonna fight somebody next Saturday, I'm not gonna just say that you're gonna fight somebody and assume you're gonna show up. I'm gonna probably call you and make sure you're gonna show up, right?
Right. Talk
about it. So. No, I haven't. But if it was dealt with properly and the circumstances were better, then I'm all on board. That's a great fight. Especially with a fighter like that. Those are fights I'm trying to fight. I'm trying to fight a guy like Matt Brown and Anthony Pettis, who I thought was probably going to be the guy I was fighting. He just lost. The same guy I just lost to. We're the top guys, and I'm not going to just fight somebody to be having a good old time, letting time go by and fight people. I think it should work out to my benefit and their benefit, and I think a fight with those guys would benefit me, and I think a fight with me would benefit them. So if I could get it worked out, that would be great.
If you had it your way, if you could choose, which fight interests you more right now? The Pettis fight, you guys have had your differences for the last couple of years, or the Brown fight. I know last year you said you were interested in fighting him as well. But if you had a perfect scenario for you, would you rather Pettis at 155 or Brown at 170 next?
See, the reason I talked about Brown last year, too, is because I've watched his fights. I've been watching him a long time. He's been around for a good amount of time, and he's an entertaining fighter. He's one of the best guys to watch in the OC. So I'm like, if I'm going to fight somebody, it's going to be someone like that. And it's going to be someone like Pettis, who's also entertaining and does good things, To me, I think if I'm going to fight anybody, money talks, and I think it needs to be worth my while to go out there and fight these guys. And if not, then I'd rather just I don't really have time to just bullshit around and fight my life away like this. I think whatever fight would be great, but whatever makes a little more sense and the circumstances of the fight,
Mm-hmm. We last saw you in December against RDA. It came out after that you were injured going into the fight. Does a part of you almost regret going through with it because it didn't look like yourself? You missed weight, all that stuff. You had to go through the whole thing where it seemed like some differences with the UFC and all that. I mean, it just didn't seem like a very enjoyable weekend in Phoenix for you. Do you regret going through with the fight?
Yeah, well, that's the same thing that happened with this Matt Brown thing. Was the same thing that happened with the last fight. It was never really, it was just kind of like, you're fighting. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm fighting. So it's kind of like, it's all good. The fact already happened, and I'm not in that being tricked into fighting anymore. I think I should have a little more standing. I'm older now, and like I said, if I'm going to fight, I think it should be worth my while, not just because they say I'm fighting. No, I'm fighting.
Do you want to fight these days more at 170 so you don't have to make that cut to 155 anymore?
If it's worth it, I'll fight at 55. You
Okay.
know? Like,
okay.
I don't have anybody to fight at 55. I fought everybody. That's the difference between me and the whole lightweight division. I fought everybody for the last going on 9 years now.
Yeah.
I've been in the UFC longer than everyone in the probably whole UFC right now. Except for like probably Diego Sanchez and Grace and Chabal. You know, those are the only guys I could think of that have been in there longer than me. So I got probably the most fights in the UFC out of anybody in the UFC right now. And if I'm gonna cut all that weight and get down to a small size, which I could do, it's got to be worth it. And I think I only had 2 people to fight at 55, knocked Anthony Pettis and Rafael Dos Anjos, because I lost to him. And all, you know, if he loses, then we could fight too. I'm not trying to hunt down no belt. The belt don't mean nothing to me. I want to get my loss off. I want to get that back. And Anthony Pettis is, you know, he's been around. He's been doing his thing lately. You know, he could be a little more active. And quit. You know, he could be a little more active, and I think that'd be the fight people want to see. So that's what I would drop weight for. You know.
No interest in the belt at all.
What does the belt mean? The belt don't mean much to me. I think, like I said, I want to fight in fights that matter. You know, but like you know, if some boring ass fighter has a belt, I don't want to fight that fight. I want to fight entertaining fighters. I want to fight fights people want to see. And if I'm not gonna fight in those fights, then I'm not gonna be fighting. You know.
But some might say that maybe the belt will lead to like sponsorship or better contracts, you know, more money, all that stuff. You don't view it that way?
Yeah, it might be, but you know but whatever, you know. Like if I can fight Rafael Dos Anjos or well, I want to fight Dos Anjos, so that's a bad one. But if there's some boring motherfucker holding the belt, or Anthony Pettis or Dos Anjos, then I'm gonna fight them, you know.
Right.
Rather than the boring person with the belt, because if I have any boring fights on my record, then it's probably because those people I was fighting were boring fighters, you know. So I don't want any more boring fights in my career, you know. Finish out good and go strong with some good fights.
How many more years do you want to do this for, or fights? I mean, I'm wondering if you still enjoy the whole thing as much as you did when you first started.
You know, I just want to get done what I got to get done. I want to, you know, I don't know. I don't even think about it. I just want to have a good opportunity open. I want to seize it. If not, I'm not going to just fight because I feel like I've already fought enough to just fight because, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's good fights, whenever, I'm sure I'll be around healthy for longer than most of these fighters, you know.
By the way,
I
think a lot of people might not know this. Just a few rows in back of Ronda Rousey when she was at WrestleMania sat you and Gilbert Melendez. You were at WrestleMania. What was that like?
Yeah, the WrestleMania was cool.
You enjoyed it?
Gilbert hit me up. He's like, let's go to WrestleMania. I never been there. I did actually when I was a kid. I went and saw The Undertaker when I was a kid here in Stockton. There was a show, and I went and checked it out, and I haven't been since then. So we went there, and I didn't know it was that crazy at those shows. Saw Travis Barker out there, and a whole bunch of Ronda Rousey, a whole bunch of other people. So I had a good time.
Did you know that Ronda was going to go into the ring and all that?
I didn't know that, no.
Did you like it? Did you enjoy it?
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like, we just saw it at high and stuff, and then they were like 400 in cage, or the ring, so that was pretty crazy.
Okay, so I will let you go because I know you're a busy man, and I got to say, I really appreciate you coming on the show here last minute. Where do we go from here? For those wondering, like, you know, because I'm getting questions right now. So, what's going to happen? Like, where do we go from here with the fight? Are you waiting to speak to the UFC? Do you want them to call you? How do we fix this situation?
Yeah, I don't know. If someone got a hold of me, that'd be great. And if not, it's all good too. I don't need to fight. Like I said, I don't need to fight my life away. I'm all good with not fighting. So if we want to work that out, it'd be great. And if not, I'll be watching and tuning in fights and making sure everything's going good and taking some time off relaxing.
But as far as you're concerned right now, according to you, you're not fighting Matt Brown at UFC 189. Yeah,
no, just hanging out, try to talk to somebody.
Okay, Nate.
But I think like what would you guys want? What would people want to see? Who do you want to see Matt Brown fight? If not,
Yeah,
not me. Who would you like to see him fight?
That's a good question.
There ain't nobody to fight. There's nobody in the town. What is it? He can fight me or he can fight Joe Blow at 170. Like, it benefits him, it benefits me. Fight him. And look at, who do you want to see Anthony Pettis? If not fight me, who do you want to see him fight?
Well, that was the thing. I was kind of thinking, I wasn't expecting you to go up to 170, so I was kind of set on you versus Pettis because there's been that whole thing for so long. I feel like Pettis has more options at 155 because he hasn't fought as many of the guys. Brown has been around a little longer. I feel like he has less options.
Who are you going to fight? Who's Pettis going to fight? Who do you want to see him fight? If you think so.
Maybe. Well, here's the thing. If Cerrone beats Nurmagomedov, probably Nurmagomedov because they've had some differences lately. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, see? But, so Cerrone he already beat.
Yeah.
Nurmagomedov, that's boring. He's either going to knock out Russian dude or Russian dude's going to hold on tight and have a long, boring fight. There's not much going on, so it's like...
You're not a fan of Nurmagomedov, right?
No, I'm not. I'm not a fan of boring fighters at all. So, like, I think he's going to probably beat Dos Anjos. Maybe. I think Dos Anjos is a better fighter. But I think that... like, who wants to see that shit, and then there's Dos Anjos. He's going to lose. He'll probably fight. Pettis don't ever want to fight Dos Anjos again. That's obvious. I heard him on your show talking about it. And,
you listened to the show?
Yeah, I listened to that one.
Thank you.
And, I listened to a lot of them, but I listened to that one recently. And, so Matt Brown, nobody to fight. And then anybody, man, like I'm telling you, there's nobody for any of these motherfuckers to fight. They want to fight somebody, they want to get views. Hey, check my record, too. I got higher views on the fight than any of these motherfuckers. They're saying that Conor McGregor is going to blow these pay-per-views out of the water or whatever. I've been usually fighting, but they put me on Fox, but I have 3 million, 2.5, 3 million, hella high tune-ins for my fight. So if these guys want to fight somebody and get them points, they need to take real fights with me. And besides me, there's nobody other people to fight, So Conor McGregor keeps talking about coming up and fighting. Keeps coming up and talking about coming up and fighting Dos Anjos. I don't know what that's gonna be for him. That guy's got 10 followers or some shit. So if these guys want some real fights, then they can call and work it out and fucking figure it out. I'm game to fight as long as it's gonna be worth it.
Did you see when Conor took Aldo's belt? What do you think of that?
Oh, shit. I was like, what are you talking about? Aldo's fucked up. His team's fucking up, Aldo's.
What? Why?
Because, let me tell you something. If I had a partner fighting somebody like that and he was get, make sure when this guy gets up in your face, you smack his ass to the floor. You know what I'm saying? You don't let somebody get, or just laugh at him. He got in an uproar. He got all bent out of shape when the guy took his belt. He should have laughed at him. Been keep the belt. Saying about the belt, it's about your ass whooping. I don't let him have it. And you take that home and put it on. I think it was. But hey, Conor McGregor, he's doing his thing. He's doing a good job with that. And I'm not hating on him. I think he's doing a great great job marketing himself. Everybody's forgot who the champ is already because of his shit, you know, it's the McGregor show.
Mm-hmm. Does it still blow your mind, by the way, at this point that you're not ranked, you're not in the top 15 in the UFC rankings?
Yeah, they just bad on math because I was number 3. I was number 4 when they pulled me from the rankings.
Yeah.
I was number 4. So I beat Graham Maynard when he was number 3. So I was number 4. And then they pulled me from the rankings because they didn't like some stuff I said. So they pulled me from the rankings. And then I got back in the fight with Thanos, and he was number 3. So then when I lost to number 3, when I was number 4 before they pulled me out. So when I lost to him, then that should probably make me number 5 or 6. Instead, I'm just wiped away and gone. I think that's just bad math.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's kind of strange to me.
Yeah, it's silly.
You don't lose a lot of sleep over the rankings, though, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't care. A lot of stuff that goes on doesn't make any sense anyways. So, I think that, like I said, I think they should try to do something and, you know, make fights people want to see, not no bullshit fights. So, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight though. When the good opportunity comes, then it's worth the while. Until then, it's all good. It's summertime. Try. One season just started. I just raced last week with my brother.
How'd you do?
I did all right. I'm in a new division now, a new age group. So I'm in an age group with a lot of tougher racers this next couple of years. So I got to step it up and pick up the pace, and that's my goal this year to do better in the triathlon circuit. My coach, Damian Gonzalez, has been working for me and calling me, and he's like, he don't even pay no attention to fight stuff. He's talking about getting in there and racing and doing good in the season. So that's my objective for right now. If I'm not going to be fighting, even if I am fighting, that's what I'm going to be doing.
By the way, do you think your brother will fight again?
My brother?
Yeah.
I have no clue. We'll have to see. I don't know what's going on with him, his deals, or his who would he fight right now? Silva, right? If anything.
Again?
Well, didn't they talk about him pop for steroids?
Yeah, that's true.
I thought Nick won that fight. You know, a lot of people thought he won that fight.
Yeah, it is true. That is messed up. Yeah. Kind of, yeah. I forgot about that.
If anything, no NBA, anything that nothing else really makes too much sense except for that. Maybe just Peace talking about coming back sometime, I think.
Yeah, it seems up in the air.
If anything, he's up in the air. Nick's up in the air. Silva's up in the air. So who knows? I don't know. I can't say anything on his behalf.
Sure. No, I understand.
So,
wow.
We'll see what happens.
So, by the way, you know, Matt Brown tweeted a photo of a signed contract. You don't have one of those, right?
I don't have no contract. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a contract. I ain't got a phone call. I don't have any. I got the internet. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I find out about most stuff. And like, if someone's not blowing me up in a text message that I'm fighting, you know, I woke up to that.
Or glide, right?
Or glide.
I love the glide. You know, I only glide with 2 people. I'm name dropping here, but I feel like I can.
Yeah.
You and your bro. It's great. I love it. I wish more people would use it. You guys should get paid by glide.
Anybody else?
No.
Oh yeah, that's a great way for communication. I can't.
They should pay you guys. They should pay you guys because you're such great ambassadors for the app.
For glide, huh? I think my brother has a fan glide.
He has like some sort of VIP account or something, right?
Yeah, because I'm gliding him the other day, and he's like, "Hey, motherfucker, stop gliding me on my what is it, fan page glide or whatever." And I was like, "Damn, what? You got the same picture?" So I was confused. I didn't know if it was his, or so I don't know if people could see that or what. But he's like, grabbed me on the other one, said deleted his fan one because I was talking to a whole bunch of people, I think, instead of just him.
Okay, let me ask you this. Rockhold Machida, who do you got?
I don't, let's watch the fight and see what happens.
Okay, fair enough.
But, yeah.
Will you be watching?
I like California people better But
They're both Californian, though, these days at least. But I get what you're saying. That's Rockhold.
yeah, but I don't care. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's a good fight.
You watch fights? Do you go out of your way to watch fights?
Fights nowadays you can't go out of your way because they're all in your face. But yeah, I watch what's going on.
Okay, you follow it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I wish you the best, Nate.
It's getting boring, huh?
I don't think so.
It has its ups and downs.
Sometimes. That's a good way of putting it. Now, you know what doesn't have its ups and downs? This show, which I just found out you watch and enjoy. How about that?
A lot of views on the show? A lot of people watching this?
Do people watch the show?
Yeah.
I think so.
Like a lot of people?
I think so, yeah. I think we're pretty popular. It's been going on for 5.5 years, and we've never had you on. We had your brother on in November, and November, yeah. But never had you. You're the last one left. Name the fighter we've had him on this show. Never had you. At least like the big name fighters.
Oh.
I feel like that's a feather in your cap. Like you were the last one.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go. People are watching this, so
I know.
Time for me to go.
Okay, fine, fair enough. Nate,
Hey,
all the best.
all right, you have a good one.
Okay, thank you, Nate. Talk to you soon.
All right, see ya.
Nate Diaz. How about that? He is the one and only George St-Pierre. George, how are you?
Hi, Ariel. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Fantastic. Thanks.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. You seem out of breath. Were you just working out?
Yeah, but I had to jump in the shower, and then I had no signal where I was. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late.
Nope.
So I have to come upstairs, and some people were asking me for a picture and stuff, so I had to get free, and now I'm calling you.
No problem at all, George. We'll wait all day for you. So it is an honor to have you on the program. Let's get right into it. I've noticed, you kind of come and go as far as media is concerned, but over the last week or so, you've talked to some people, some French outlets, some Canadian outlets. Chill Sun, and you were on his podcast. Is there a reason why we're hearing more of you over the last week or so?
Well, I have nothing really much to say. It's just, I guess, with everything that happened, Ronda Rousey lost her fight, maybe my movie coming up, Kickboxer, and I guess Freddie Roach made some comment about possibility of if I would like to go back fighting, it would be a good idea to do a 6-week training camp. I think that's why.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, because he came on our show and confirmed that. Was he sort of speaking out of turn there? Did he kind of put the cart before the horse? It sounds like, from what I've heard, that you're not really considering doing this. It might happen, but it's not a definite. Is that right?
No, I heard what he said. He didn't say it was definite too. The reporters, that's their job. They want to bring the scoop. For the news. He didn't say nothing wrong. He said we had a talk with each other, and he told me, he said, George, will you think of coming back? He said, if you think of coming back, I think you should do a 6-week training camp. And I said to him that if I ever fight again, I want him in my corner. Otherwise, I would not come back. I needed him, and he's a big part of my game now. And I think he's the best in the world at what he does. And I want to be more involved. Him to be more involved with me if it's done.
Why did you make that decision? Why do you feel like it's best for you to have him in your corner if you do come back?
No, I feel the difference when I train with Freddie. I feel my footwork, my distance control, my power, the punches power, my hands, everything gets better. I try sometimes to transform myself more into I'm from karate background, and try to transform myself more into a Muay Thai stylist. I think karate, I should say, with karate and boxing, I think that's what works. That's what works the best for me.
He also said that if you do this 6-week training camp, it will be in LA at Wildcard. He'll be overseeing it. And that was surprising, considering, where you're from, Montreal, and your gym, TriStar. Is that true?
No, I don't know if he says that. When we talk about it, I told him I want him to be involved. Of course, I'm gonna come in LA, but I want him to come in Montreal. We'll see. It's nothing. One thing for sure is now I want to. With all those years of training, I never spent really much New Year's and all this holiday time with my family and friends. I never had, because I was always on the Super Bowl card. I was always training, so I couldn't really enjoy my time. So now one thing for sure, I want to have a nice holidays with my family and friends, enjoy it, party, have fun as I'm training, of course. But if I have to do it and try to do it, I'm gonna do it after that, and after in 2016.
Does a part of you wish that you initially came out and said you're retired so that people like me would stop asking you if you're coming back, if you made a decision? The fact that you're kind of in and out and you haven't said the R word, I feel like every interview I've seen of yours, every time you're making a public appearance, people are asking you, are you coming back? Are you not? Do you almost regret the way it's been done?
No, I don't. I don't even know myself, and it depends on a lot of things, and like I said, I haven't made my decision. I don't have to make a decision yet because I don't know. I'm not the kind of guy, if I say I'm going to retire and come back and then make up, I don't like to do that. So I just don't know, so.
Is there a part of you that says if I reach a certain age, then for sure I'm not coming back? Like I have a deadline?
It's not really the age. I think it's the physicality, how you feel as an athlete. And I feel the best I ever felt. I just finished training. I feel more powerful, in better shape than I ever felt. I feel smarter, sharper, and I feels great. I also train for fun. I don't really train for performance right now, which is different.
Right.
But I feel the fun again. I used to do for so many years training for performance with the stress and the pressure. So I kind of, with everything that have happened, I kind of lost fun. So now I have fun again. And I needed this. I needed this for a long time.
When you sit down and watch big UFC fights, do you start to get that itch and say, ooh, what would it be like to go back in there? Can I do it again? Can I be champion? Has your mind started to think that way?
Yeah, but it's always going to be there because I used to compete. It's always going to be like that. A part of me is thinking I have a lot more to lose than win. And another part of myself think we only live once, so I don't want to be maybe at 80 years old and tell myself, oh, I should have done it and I didn't. I should have done. A lot of things in life that I regret most of the things I have in life that I regret the most are the things that I haven't done. It's not the thing that I did, it's the thing that I haven't done. So there is pros and cons, to this. And, I just don't know.
Your coach, Faraz Zahabi, said on this show he thinks you have a lot of fight left in you. Freddie Roach said he thinks you're coming back. Why are all these people so close to you saying that you're coming back, but you're not saying it?
I tell you, I feel the best I ever feel. I look better now in training, in sparring and all that I ever looked, even when I was competing at my best. I'm at my best. I have more fire in me. I have more fun. I enjoy training, and I'm more hungry. But the reason why we talk about the trying a training camp without fighting is because sometimes when you're in training camp, you can be lethargic. Like if the lethargy kicks in again and you still have, you lost your edge and you fall into the same pattern feeling that when you were tired and not hungry, that's a good indication that you need to stop. That's not a good idea to go back. That's why I believe it would be smart. If I plan to, it doesn't mean I will. If I plan to come back, I won't tell nobody. I will do a training camp in secret, and see how it goes. And if it depends on what's going to happen in UFC and decision that people going to make and the result, a lot of stuff. Depend on a lot of things.
Last week, you made headlines when you talked about the night of UFC 167. You were getting stitched up. Someone from the UFC said you don't have to go to the press conference. You said, no way, I'm going to the press conference. And you said if
no,
things...
they didn't tell me I didn't have to go. They told me to not going. They said they didn't want me to go.
They didn't want you to go. Is it?
They say don't go. You're not allowed to go. That's what they say. It's from. I swear, it's true.
Why do you think they said that?
I don't know. That's why I didn't know at the time, because I didn't know what had been said. It's after that I realized what they didn't have any discrepancy after my fight. Like I didn't felt, I had the result, and I didn't felt like I was pissing off people. I didn't know what was going on. Like this whole thing, like Dana White was saying, I'm not angry at Dana White. I talked to him, and he do things for the best of his interest, and I do things for the best of my interest. And it was not in the best of his interest for the organization that the guy leave with the belt. So, and I understand it was a close fight. Many people, they argue. To my eyes, I review it many times. I thought I won. My corner told me I did won 1, 3, and 5. So it didn't have any discrepancy in my mind. I know after a fight, like a lot of fine people raise their hand and stuff, and I didn't feel it was like this. I don't know if it's the correct word, discrepancy. I didn't feel anything. I didn't know nothing bad was going on until they say to me, "Oh, you're not allowed to go in press conference," because I found it out. I find it that it was kind of weird, and because I was getting stitched up, I wait for the doctor a long time. Then I walk in, and I saw the reaction of people. I was like, it's kind of weird. And it's all after when I reviewed the press conference, when people told me what was going on, that I realized, but I didn't know.
Is it true that they took away your belt that night?
Yes. They came to take the belt, and Christophe, my friend, he was angry. I was getting stitched up, I think, and I don't mind the belt. I mean, it's a nice gift. Every time I win a new belt, I used to give it as a gift to people that helped me. I kept one. The first one that I won, I gave it to my mother. The second one, I put it in my workout place. And all the other belt that I gained, I gave it to either one of my trainer, one of the people that helped me, one of the guy that used to help me, that I sponsor a long time ago. I always give it to someone that is very, very important to me. And yeah, they took the belt. Yeah, but it's okay. It's only material. The importance for me is the memory that I kept from it, and nothing can take it away from me.
After the press conference, I believe you had a face-to-face meeting with I think it was Dana and Lorenzo. Can you tell us what was said in that meeting?
Yes, I'll tell you, and I'll be straight to him. I'm not gonna say name. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I said, but I was very pissed off, and I used a lot of F word and swearing. I'm sorry, and I was very angry because of the testing issue for the doping. Mm-hmm. They did not support me for the anti-doping, and I told them, I was like, why they didn't support me for this, and I didn't understand this. I was very angry. I said, you guys need to wake up because a lot of people are, cheating and stuff, and it's a freaking joke. You guys are kind of protecting these guys. And it shouldn't be like that. I mean, I was very angry. It's like you're fighting, I was very angry. I never went publicly, never accused nobody. I wanted to change the system. And I was very angry. That's why. And they were like saying to me, like, oh, really? You think so? And now that I look back, I know that they know, but I know I'm not stupid. I know it's business. If you promote a fight, you spend $1 million doing promotion for a fight, and the guy gets test positive, so they lose a lot of money. It's not in their best interest right now to make the best testing possible, because if the guy tests positive, they lose money because the fight got canceled. So I know this, but I told them in a way that I told them it might take a year, that you're going to lose money for a year maybe, because a lot of your main stars, a lot of your guys, a lot of people will fall and test positive. It might hurt the image of the sport. But after a year, people will be scared, and it will put back everything straight. I told them, and we had a big discussion on that. But they were like, "Oh, really? You really think so?" They said that to me. But I do believe they know. I believe they pretend they didn't know, but I believe they do know that it's an issue.
So now they're partnered with USADA, and it's been several months. Are you comfortable with where things are? Do you think enough is being done? Like in this climate, could you come back, or do you still think more needs to be done?
Look, my friend. Look at real man. This is the thing, okay? I've got to tell you the truth.
Please.
Look, okay. I read a lot of, I when USADA get involved, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
People ask me what I think. I think it was a good idea, and it's better than it was. It would never be perfect, but it's better than it was. It is better than it was. But is it the best that they can do? I'm not sure about that. If it's the best they can do, they say it is the best, the higher standard, and da. I would like, because these things need to be public. They need to make it public. Who they test, who tests positive, because there is false positive. There is people that test false positive, and you need to know why. Who tests, and what do they test? They need to be public, and it's not public. And I think there's the problem in here. You know what I mean? Is it better? Yes, it's better, but it's not perfect, and it will never be perfect. But if it's in terms of the best standard, no, it's not the best standard, but it is still better. But I think that there's a lot of it has improved a lot, but it's not the best thing. And I read a lot of things, and I don't say any name. Just go on Google. It's easy. You can read wonderful article. Go on Google and just have to read USADA controversy, USADA boxing controversy, and you'll find a lot of very interesting stuff. So I don't want to say any name. You're a smart guy.
Yes.
People are the people that is listening are smart people. Go read about that. You'll find some very surprising stuff and evidence that have occurred, and you'll see.
Yeah, I believe some of those articles written on this very website, SB
and you'll
Nation.
Understand what I'm saying. You'll understand what I'm saying when I'm talking about the highest standard.
When you were in Montreal doing the media day before UFC 186, you said something very interesting that not a lot of people caught. You were asked about Reebok, and you said, if I came back, that might be a potential problem. What did you mean by that? Would you not be in favor of being a part of the Reebok deal if you fought again?
Look, I don't know the Reebok deal. My contract is different than people's contract. I have a great team. I'm lucky. I have a great team of management behind me. Just the only thing I have to say, my contract is different than people's contract. And I cannot really comment on that because, my sponsors issue and things like that. But, I just say that it's different. My contract is different than most people.
Is that something that could stop you from coming back?
I could stop maybe UFC from having me coming back.
Okay. Have you talked to them about this potential issue when they met with you in Montreal, when they sat?
No, it's not my job. When I'm competing, my job is to fight in the octagon. I have a team that fight for me on legal right, on business right, and this is not my fight. This is my management fight.
Right.
And trust me, I'm confident I have the best in the world in that regard.
I agree. A very great team. By the way, when they came to offer you a fight at 186, did they offer you an opponent?
Well, I'm sorry, what did they say?
Remember when they came to meet with you in Montreal and they asked you to fight on the card in Montreal last year or earlier this year? Did they ever actually offer you an opponent? Did a name come out, or was it just, are you interested in coming back?
Not really. It was mostly, I didn't really remember. It was a text message, I believe, from Dana. I said, you want to come back? I said, no. I said, no, not ready now. I don't think it was an opponent. It's not a I don't remember what was the text. I didn't kept it.
Sure.
But it was hey, you want to fight in Montreal or something like that. I didn't care who it was. If it would be a 3-foot midget or, for example, the best fighter in the world, I didn't care. I just was not ready. I was not ready for fighting. When you fight, you have to put yourself into a state of mind, and I was not there yet.
Rory McDonald said last month that if you come back, it's for super fights and not the belt. And everyone thought, or he said when, and he sort of misspoke and everyone went crazy. Is that true? Are you only interested in super fights, or do you want to actually try to get the belt back if you do come back?
No, I don't know. I don't even know if I want the belt or a super fight. I just don't know. I don't know. And things are moving so much right now. And one thing for sure, there's a few guys that I will never fight. And it's not a question of money. It's a question of integrity and it's friendship. There's guys that I'm friend with and I'm training that I would never fight. Rory is one of them. I would never fight Rory. I would never fight like guys like Rashad Evans is a friend. He's like a brother for me. Rashad. I've known him for too long. I know the family, his family. You know what I mean. You know my family, and we're friends. The guys like this, I would never fight. Tom Breeze, guys like this, I wouldn't. Even if they asked me $10 million, I would not fight. I would never fight.
When I was watching 189, I saw what happened to Rory. He was so close to getting that belt. It was such a devastating loss. I kept thinking, I wonder what George is thinking right now. Seeing your friend, someone that you sort of brought along, you took under your wing, kind of stumble at the last minute. He was so close to getting that belt. Was that difficult for you to watch?
Yeah, it was hard to watch. Unfortunately, yeah, I do believe he was winning the fight. I believe he was ahead in the scorecard, and it's just sad. I was watching the fight. It was a great fight, by the way, and I believe Rory is the future of the division. He's still very young. Sometimes it's just not your time. It's just like maybe you zig when you should have zagged, and he got caught. And I believe he will be champion. Maybe it was not just at the moment now, but I do believe he will be champion one day.
3 last quick things, if I may. If Carlos Condit wins on January 2nd, does that drastically change your decision? Because you've often said that he beat you up worse than anyone, and I kind of feel from your interviews that that's where things started to change. Like you needed a long break after what Carlos did. You won the fight, but he hit you with some tough shots. He was unorthodox. Do you not want to go through that again? So if he wins, does that really make you think about things?
It will make me think differently, but I just don't know. When you fight a guy like Carlos, let's say you would fight a guy like Johnny, you would fight a guy on like Robbie, you have to put yourself through a different mindset because you're going through different opponents with different strength. It's different, and everybody has different attributes and different quality and different physicality. And, it's different, but I don't know if it has. I don't know at the term of affecting my decision if I will come back or not. I just don't know.
The MMA world is going.
You're a good interviewer, Ariel. You kept asking me the same question in a different ways. You're a very slick person, very slick guy.
Thank you, George. This isn't our first interview, by the way, so I'm sure you, unless you noticed.
I know. I'm just kidding. But you're smart. I see you. But I see you coming from different angle. It's very smart.
It's like a fight, right? You got to keep moving. You got to keep going from different. A little jab here.
I keep my hands up and moving around. I'm not getting hit by you. You try different ways, but I see you coming. You're a slick guy.
J'apprécie, mon ami. Okay, so let me ask you this: Sage Northcutt. Everyone's going crazy over him. He said, I want to meet George St-Pierre. I want to go to TriStar. We saw pictures of you two training together. What do you make of Sage Northcutt?
Yeah, he's very good. He's great, very good athlete. Great raw talent, And he's now with technique, and he's surrounded himself by great people. His dad, and he's a karate background guy, and I think he's gonna be great. He's gonna have a great future. He's got a great mentality, good work ethic. Seems to me like he has a lot of pride, which is very important for a fighter. He has a lot of pride. He's a very proud person, which is very important. That's what make you strong. So I think he's gonna be a great fighter.
Perhaps
he's already a great fighter, but he's going to become one of the Forrest in his division.
Perhaps reminds you of a young George St-Pierre?
Yeah, but Sage Northcutt is Sage Northcutt. I'm George St-Pierre. George St-Pierre is George St-Pierre. He's good at what he do. I'm good at what I did. So we're different people.
Fair enough. Okay, last thing, George. This is what Dana White said to the Los Angeles Times recently. Quote, "It'd be great if George comes back. Yes, I love George St-Pierre, amazing athlete. But comeback talk, I laugh at it. To be a world champion, you have to be hungry. That's not GSP, not even close." End quote. Are you hungry?
Yeah, it's different ways of being hungry. You can be, and it's a good illustration. People like, I'm doing promotion for the new movie of Sylvester Stallone. The movie, the movie Creed. They explained it about it. That, like you can be poor and like have nothing in your life and be hungry. This is a way of being hungry, but you can be rich and be hungry as well, because there's different ways of being hungry. It doesn't mean if you're wealthy and stuff, you're not hungry. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
There's different ways of being hungry, and I still can be hungry in a way. I can be still hungry I can even be more hungry than people that have nothing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because I have a lot to lose. I have so much to lose that I'm scared of losing it, and I don't want to lose it because of my pride. When I'm talking about the pride, the pride is my most important strength. I'm a very proud person, and I would never want to go back and make a fool of myself and be humiliated, because I'm a very proud guy. So because I have so much to lose, that's what's gonna make me hungry and be willing to do better than anyone. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's different ways of being hungry. It's not only a guy that is poor, has nothing, he needs to be hungry. Because Dana White, I think you see it from this perspective. But as a fighter, you can ask. There's different ways of being hungry. Floyd Mayweather is hungry. He's winning because he's hungry, because he's a proud guy. He's very proud. You know what I mean?
Yeah. George, a pleasure as always. Thank you so much. This is an honor for me. Anytime I get to talk to you, it's a huge pleasure and honor. So thank you very much for the time today. And please, if you do make a decision of any kind, you can come back to your friend and we'll talk about it here on the show. I'd love to talk to you about that.
All right. Take care, bye.
There he is, George St-Pierre. Some answers, some questions still linger, but always great to hear from you. I have not talked to our next guest in around 2 years. I believe I'm still blocked by him on Twitter. It was tough to get him on, but for one reason or another, he agreed to come on. I'm talking about my old friend, Quentin Rampage Jackson. Rampage, are you there?
What's up, man? I'm here, man. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. What? I can't even tell you the emotions going through my body, because I got to be honest. I thought you'd never talk to me again. I'm not sure why. I don't know how you feel about me now, but I love that you're here.
Well, you still suck. But my fans wanted me to go on. I ask my fans a lot of questions these days because, I try to be very close to my fans, the true Rampage fans, not just the new MMA fans, so the ones that's been there with me for day one. And, I play video games with them. I talk to them on Instagram. And, I talked to them on Twitter, and they said, yeah, go on Ariel's show. We want to hear from you.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. Why are you so mad at me? Why in Montreal, in my hometown, when you came back to the UFC, you refused to speak to me? You wouldn't even allow me to be in the scrum. You wanted nothing to do with me. You hated me. I could tell. Why?
I don't hate nobody, but you hated on me. When I left the UFC and I signed with Viacom, You said some very derogatory things to me personally on the phone when we talked. I remember talking to you.
What?
And people kept asking me the same questions, like, why did you leave the UFC? Why you go to TNA? Why you didn't go to WWE? And I felt like I got the point across, but I don't know. I don't know what Viacom had promoted and stuff like that. And I noticed that you have a good connection with the fans, and I wanted to tell you, listen, man. My fans are asking a lot of questions. I'm trying to answer everybody's questions, and they don't understand why I'm at TNA. It's not WWE, and why I'm with Viacom. And you said, and I said, and I asked you, I said, can we do an interview so I can explain everything? Because Viacom did like a media press, but I
I don't think they got the point across. You have a better reach than them. You said, "Oh, don't worry. That's what happens when you leave the UFC. You become irrelevant." Blah blah blah. You said it to me personally.
No.
I'm like, "Wow."
I would never. I didn't say.
Yeah, shut up. Let me talk. You asked me the motherfucking question.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, that's what you said. I ain't making up shit. And then when I had the reality show, you know what I'm saying, you hated on it. People come in and me tell me like, man, earlier one said your reality show sucked. I was like, oh man, I need all the ratings I can get so I can prove to Viacom that you know what I'm saying, I can do this shit here. I can entertain the fans even before I step into the cage. And I thought we were boys, and you said that. So I told my man, I said, no, I don't want to deal with Ariel no more. I don't want to do an interview with him, man. He's hating on me.
Well, first off, I will apologize. I did say that the show was bad, so I apologize for that. I was just trying to keep it real. You know I like to keep it real. Can you say now that you're no longer with Viacom that it wasn't the greatest reality show of all time? Can you at least admit that?
Listen, I never said it was the greatest reality show. Like, listen, if they would have gave me more control over what I could do, and so it wasn't even a damn reality show. It was shoulder programming. They just promoted my fight. It wasn't even a reality show. Like when you guys gotta learn this, when you do like a reality show or any type of TV stuff like that, even though they said I was the executive producer, man, those producers and stuff like that, they still have egos. They want to run this up. They have a boss to answer to. I don't know all their ins and outs. They didn't give me that much control. But the one show that I did have like insight in was like the last episode when my cousin had the pool party and stuff like that, and they did pretty much almost everything I said, except for they didn't put the fat chicks in the jacuzzi. I told them, put the fat chicks in the jacuzzi, boom. It would have been a hit. That stuff would have went viral and stuff like that. But no, people don't listen to me. People just look at me and think that I'm just a black man that be howling in the cage and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand my full potential and why I became one of the most, marketable fighters is because of my personality, because of stuff I bring to the table. But, you know what I'm saying, I feel like this, that's their loss. And yeah, it wasn't the best reality show because I didn't want to do a whole bunch of fake shit and do all this stuff. Like mostly women watch reality shows. Like men don't watch reality shows, but for guys, for MMA fans, that was a good reality show. What other fighters having a reality show? You should have lifted up instead of say, oh, it sucks. You should have said like, well, I hope Rampage can do this. I hope Rampage can do that. You know what I'm saying? I know you're keeping it real, but you know what I'm saying? Like when you boys and stuff like that, and you're supposed to be cool, you know what I'm saying? You keep it real by not dogging his shit on the public air. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. That's fair. And I apologize. I should have supported more. I think I was a little bit ticked off when I saw you at that media day. And man, you gave me that stare down. You remember? And you said, "F this, F that. I'm not talking to you." Remember that in New York?
No, I don't. I don't remember. I probably did it, but yeah, I don't.
You were not happy with me. I thought with your eyes, you were telling me you better go to the other side of the room.
Yeah, man. I get hated on. I get hated on enough. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like me because of this. Some people don't like me because of that. Some people like me because of my skin color. You know what I'm saying? Some people, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I get hated on enough. I don't like to get hated on by my friends. You know what I'm saying? So you got to put yourself in my shoes. You know what I'm saying? If you're supposed to be cool with somebody, that's the last person that you want to get hated on. I get hated on enough. Hell, I'm not even close to my family anymore because, you know what I'm saying, I pursued my dream to become a professional fighter. And now they think that I'm a multi-millionaire and all this, and they think I'm this. I did one movie. They think I'm a movie star and stuff like that. So now they feel like, oh, you should pay all my bills. You should buy me a car. You should buy me a house. And when I say, no, I can't do that. I got my own kids. I got my own bills. Then now I'm stuck up. You know what I'm saying? So I get hated on by my own family. You know what I'm saying? You think I want to get hated on by my friends and shit? No. Think about it, man. Put yourself in my shoes.
Does that mean the fact that you're on this show today? Does that mean that we're friends again?
No, it means that I listen to my fans. That's why I listen to my fans. You know, so I've been on Twitch lately.
Yes.
So so now I be live streaming on video games. So now the fans can talk to me while I play video games. I can kill two birds at once because I love video games. And they I guess they follow me on Twitter. So fans on Twitch, man, they say they speak their mind and stuff. So they told me, like, yeah, go holler at Ariel one, you know what I'm saying? Just don't call him Big Nose or whatever. I don't know why they would say that, but yeah, that's what they said. They said don't talk about his nose, whatever you do, because if you talk about Ariel the one that knows, when you get off the phone, he's probably going to hate on you again. So I said, okay. I said, I'm not going to talk about that that nose he got. I ain't going to say nothing about it and everything, but I'll go on the Ariel one show and everything, because they said they want to know what I'm doing. If people want to know what I'm doing, like, a lot of people don't understand. People keep asking me, when you fight next, and most people don't know that I'm tied up in a damn court battle with Viacom and Bellator. So I don't know where I'm going to fight next. You know what I'm saying?
Can you explain that situation to us? Because you came back to the UFC. It was great. You were in Montreal. You won. You beat Fabio Maldonado. It was so cool to see you back. And now you appear to be on the sidelines. Where are we at with all of that?
Well, this is the thing. Like, people need to realize that I'm not a manager. I'm a fighter. And my manager is very good at what he does. And Viacom breached their contract. And they had 45 days to fix the breach. We gave them 90-something days. They didn't fix the breach. So in my contract, I was allowed to terminate my contract if Viacom didn't fix the breach. You know what I'm saying? Because they promised movies, pro wrestling, reality shows, everything to boost the pay-per-views. Everybody saw what happened to Bjorn Redney. He got canned. Scott Coker came in. The company was turned upside down, and my contract got shitted on. You know what I'm saying? That's all out there. That's common sense. And so for some reason, Viacom didn't want to fix things. So my manager terminated it, and he took everything to the UFC, and the UFC said, yep, he's legal to sign. And Viacom didn't agree with the termination. So I don't know if my manager missed one step going to the courts or whatnot. So they try to put a hold on my fight. I go to the courts and stuff like that and everything, and I got I got it overturned, you know what I'm saying? And I fought, and I did that just because, for the fans, because they wanted to see the fight, and it just messed up. So now I'm tied up, I'm going to court and stuff like that, and I feel like they just trying to tie me up so I don't fight. But, at the end of the day, I've been thinking about this for a long time. At the end of the day, I've won 4 fights in a row. I've done a lot in this sport. I've been fighting for 15 years, you know what I'm saying? I love this sport. So I'm thinking Bellator cannot make me fight for them. And so I'm thinking I might as well just go ahead and retire. I just retire, you know what I'm saying? I got my clone that's going to fight. He's 15 years old right now. I'm training him right now. He's going through his whole wrestling background. I'm training him on my self-defense. He got natural slams. So I'm just thinking, when he turned 18, then I'll put him in amateur, and then I'll send him to Japan and do the whole thing. So you guys have another Rampage coming in a couple of years. But me, you know what I'm saying, if you know what I'm saying, Bellator and stuff, they keep trying to hold me up, you know what I'm saying, I just retire and just do movies and TV shows and stuff like that, because, it's just too much stress for one person to deal with. All I try to do is just fight, put on exciting fights, and, you know what I'm saying, people try to, you know how people are. Some people try to screw you over, some people try to help you out. You know what I'm saying? UFC has been good with all this, you know what I'm saying? They, they've been helping me out and stuff like that and standing by me and stuff and everything. But, there's only so much that one human being can take,
So are you saying right now that you're done? That you're officially retired?
I'm saying that if this court stuff don't go, if this court don't go, if this court stuff don't go well, then I might as well retire, because I'm not gonna let somebody force me to fight, or if they can't stop me. So I've done a lot in the sport, and you know what I'm saying. So the easy thing for me to do was just retire and just walk away.
Wow. Do you have a timeline? Like, if it drags on to this point, I'm done. I'm not going to wait this long. Like, do you have a set timeline in your mind, a deadline, if you will?
No, I don't have a set. I'm just been thinking about it. I told my manager the other day, because no one can ever say in business that I've done them wrong in business, and I feel like Bellator try to paint a picture like I'm a crook. I double signed with somebody, and you know what I'm saying? That's not me. That's not in my character. No one can ever say I screwed them over in business. I keep it real. I've always been that type of guy to just the way I am. I just choose to be straightforward. I feel like if you're a crook and you greedy, you know what I'm saying, you burn your bridges and no one wants to work with you. And it's, you know what I'm saying, UFC don't mind working with me because they know I never screwed them over. I never would. And they start up a new pride and stuff like that. Those guys, they know they would like to work with me because I always bring exciting fights. I never try to screw them over and stuff like that. And Bellator still wants me to work with them. They know I'm not the shady one in this equation. But you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I'm the only one that's getting screwed because my manager did his job. I don't read contracts. I don't do all that stuff. That's what my manager. That's why I pay my manager. So I'm the one that's getting, you know what I'm saying, punished for all this. So if I retire, I'll be happier, less stressed. Anything that causes stress, guys, in this world, just walk away from it because stress is a killer, man. It ain't worth it. So anything that causes me stress, I'm walking away from it. I'm talking about girlfriends, jobs, businesses, contracts, anything that causes me stress in these days, I'm walking away from it.
Have you thought about trying to sit down with them and settle in a way? Or on the flip side, have you thought about maybe saying, look, you know, I just want to fight and get paid. I'll just go back and fight there if that's what it means. Have you thought of any of those scenarios?
Well, I don't know. Listen, I don't know how much I can say.
Okay.
I don't know how much I can say, but yeah, I've thought of scenarios, but this is a problem that screwed everything up. Since Viacom offered me all these different revenues to earn money, fighting was the fighting the purse for fighting wasn't that great because I figured I was going to make a lot of money off pay-per-view because they said they're going to promote me and do all this stuff. And if I'm making money off doing movies, I'm making money off doing pro wrestling, and they promote my T-shirt pro wrestling and promote my pay-per-view. And the reality show, I'm getting paid to do the reality show, and they promoting my clothing line and stuff on the reality show, and they promoting it all over the place. And then I'm making a lot of revenue off pay-per-views and promotions, but none of that happened, did it? So it ain't worth it for me to just fight for the money that they was paying me. I was actually losing money after I paid all my training partners and my coaches and my 10% to my manager. So, you know, I basically lost money to help build up Bellator. Then after I went there, then look, you know, their numbers started going up, and then other fighters started coming over. Tito came over, Ken Shamrock came over, Kimbo Slice, what's his name, Stephan Bonnar. You know, I brought all this heat to them, and what I get out of it, I get debt. I lose money fighting for them. And there's no way to treat somebody that came over to help you out. I came over to help them out and help build their organization. And this is how I'm getting treated. And I don't want to do business with people like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Viacom is a great company. I'm sure Bellator is a great company. But you know, I'm just getting treated poorly, and I feel like said they should respect that. Like it was nothing personal. I'm like, okay, this is how y'all do business. I don't want to do business with people like y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If somebody came over, like my gym needs help. There's no lie. This is my first time on the gym. It's doing okay, but it could be great. My gym can, you know what I'm saying? My gym can use 200 or 300 more people. Then boom, we're booming. Then I go and open up another gym or stuff like that. That's how you're doing business. But if somebody came to my gym and they started bringing people to my gym and making my gym flourish and stuff like that, I'm not going to treat them like crap. I'm going to give them a raise. I'm going to, give them praise, and I'm going to make them feel good, make them feel happy about working at my gym. I was treated the opposite. That's all I'm saying. Like, I know people don't understand that shit. That's all I'm saying.
So what do you do all day these days? You know, like I said, I'm still blocked by you on Twitter, but I can't keep tabs. I see you tweeting about this Twitch thing, which honestly, I have no idea what that is, and I'd love for you to explain it to me. Is that what you're doing? Is that your new thing while you're not fighting?
Well, I do a lot of stuff. I do movies and stuff like that, and you know, I got other investments and stuff like that. But the Twitch thing is like killing two birds with one stone. It's like where you live streaming your video game play. Like I can play video games, and people from all over the world can watch me play video games and interact with me and joke around with me and laugh with me. And you know, my Twitch name is Rampage Jackson, one word. And just go to Twitch, and I guess you type that in, and you can follow me and see when I'm on Twitch. You know my tweet when I'm on, and you guys can play video games with me. You can just watch. You can watch me play video games, or sometimes I invite some of the guys that have the same video game I have, and I invite them on, and I play video games with them. And it's just fun. Like, there's a lot of gamers in this world. You know, I'm a gamer, but I'm not as good as most people because I never really had time to play video games. So Twitch allows me to play video games with people that I wouldn't normally get a chance to play video games with.
We've been talking about video games on this show. Apparently, it's very popular. Have you ever thought about going into that e-gaming world? You know, like you can apparently make a lot of money doing that. Can you imagine Rampage moving over to e-gaming? That would be nuts.
No, I don't know. I never heard of e-gaming, but I heard some people can make a good living at Twitch. But you know, I still enjoy entertaining people. So Twitch is something that I do on my spare time. But I still like do movies and stuff like that. And I've been working on some stuff in November. I got some stuff coming up and everything. But you know, what I'm saying fighting is my passion. It's one of the best things that I'm good at. But you know, I'm 37 now, and so I had a lot of injuries over the years, stuff like that. So if I do have to retire, I'm not going to cry, you know. So I'm going to miss it. I still training. I still do like what I would still do. I still do like jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff like that. But I just be kind of upset that I never got the boxing match that I wanted. But I feel like my last fight with Mabo Babo was the closest thing to a boxing match that I ever would get, because you know he was a pro boxer, and I basically stood up for most of the match and stuff like that, and I boxed him. So.
Well, you know what's going on behind the scenes. In your heart of hearts, do you think you have fought your last fight? Do you think that that's the way this is going here?
I really do think that I fought my last fight because you guys wasn't in my mediation with me when Viacom said what they wanted in order for me to settle, and I feel like it was lopsided, and my attorney feel like it was lopsided because.
What do they want? Can you tell us?
And I don't think I can tell y'all, but right. I can sue them for a lot of money because I lost a lot of money, and they and they want to settle. I was like, wow, it was crazy. But I don't think I can tell you guys. I don't think I can tell you. But if I ever find out, I can tell you. I'll put it out there, but I don't think I can. But I just don't want any more. I just don't want any more problems. I don't want any more stress. I just want to live my life and be happy. You know, I'm a single parent. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 teenagers that I take care of every day. Then my 2 young kids that, you know, I see them throughout the weekend. On the weekends, they come stay at my house and stuff like that. And when you're an alpha and you have your seeds, and that's what you basically live for. You want to make sure your seeds grow up and your DNA remains on this earth, and you can leave an impression with your DNA. That's just one of my instincts. It's one of my jobs. I just want my DNA on this planet to you know, saying, to survive and be successful, and one of my kids is an alpha, and you guys will get to know him soon. You know, so I'm protecting him and stuff right now. I'm teaching him all the stuff, the ins and outs, so he don't make the same mistakes that I made. And I'm gonna make sure that I manage him myself, and that he don't get screwed over. Like I've been screwed over. Like I've been screwed over by large companies. I'm not gonna say their name. I've been screwed over by large companies, sponsors. You know what I'm saying, and all these different things, and I think it happened. I think all this happened for me to learn from my son. I think my son is going to be a bigger star than I ever was. I think my son will be a better fighter than I ever was, because he started younger than me. See, I didn't start till I was 17, and he's been training for a couple of years and stuff. Now I've just been keeping everything quiet. Now he's doing wrestling, and I see he got the natural strength. He's slamming people naturally. He won his wrestling tournament last week. You know what I'm saying? And that was his second wrestling tournament. I didn't start winning wrestling till like I had been doing it for like a year. He's only been doing it for a couple of months, and he's already pitting everybody and slamming them. So the kid is just natural, and I'm just going to devote all my energy and him, and I want him to conquer MMA.
Well, Rampage, from one alpha male to another, I hope that this isn't the end of your career. I'm very excited about your son. I'd love to talk to him in the future, but I hope, I feel like there's a couple more fights you got left in you, some big fights. I hope it's not the end. But I appreciate the update. It means the world to me that you would come on the show, and I just, as an olive branch, I'm not asking you to unblock me, things, but as an olive branch, I want to plug your Twitch. Rampage is Human. That's where you can find Mr. Rampage Jackson. Rampage for Real is his Twitter, which he is still blocking me on. Instagram, Rampage for Real is the name as well. RampageJackson.com. What else am I missing? Am I missing anything else that I can plug? Oh, how about that shirt, that amazing shirt that I would love to have in the studio of the Punch-Out Rampage, right? That was a great shirt you were wearing. What else you got?
I ain't got shit else. All I got to say is you thank the Rampage fans for getting me on here, because I ain't do it for you, motherfucker, because you got a smart-ass motherfucking mouth, and you be hating on me. When you stop hating on me and shit and talking shit, then we'll be cool. Other than that, we ain't squash shit. You remember that, motherfucker.
Can we still go to Memphis and have some barbecue?
Man, fuck you.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm mad. Fuck you. Yeah, I ain't gonna take you to my hometown. Let you meet my motherfucking mama and meet all my brothers and shit while you hating on me.
Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry.
Apologize.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Once again, I'm sorry for anything I've done to offend you, to disappoint you. I hope this is the beginning of us rekindling our friendship and we could finally do that walk and talk in Memphis. I hope that you are not retiring. I hope that this legal problem gets resolved. I hope you have a great training session today. I think you're going to train. I hope you get a lot of money on Twitch. I hope only the best for you, Rampage Jackson. And I love you.
All right. I like the way they sound. I think I'm talking to my fans tonight. See what they say and see if you talk shit about me soon as I got the phone.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Right.
Regardless of who you did it for, I appreciate you coming on.
All right.
Keep us posted.
Take care.
Much love. Assalamu alaikum. There he is, Rampage Jackson. How about that? Woo! Got a little dicey there for a second, but we made it. Very excited to have him on almost exactly a year since his MMA Hour debut. I'm talking about the legendary Mirko Cro Cop. Mirko, are you there?
Hey, hi, I'm here.
Great to have you on the show, Mirko, and welcome back to the UFC. Can you explain to us how this all came about? How did you link up with the UFC? Because I think a lot of people weren't expecting this to happen at this point in your career.
Well, it was my wish, and after my last fight in Japan for the New Year, I decided to do a few more fights, and some rematches I really want to do, and I called Lorenzo Fertitta, and we made a deal, and that's it.
So you actually called them up. You got the ball rolling.
Excuse me, what?
You're the one who called Lorenzo first. They didn't call you first. You're the one that started the discussion.
Doesn't matter. Listen, doesn't matter. The most important thing is that I'm fighting on the April 11 against Gonzaga. It was the fight that I will never forget, and I just want to do a rematch with him. And I can't say I will beat him, but I will die trying. I will die trying, and that's how I feel, and I feel good right now. And there are a few more things I really want to do, and definitely fighting Gabriel Gonzaga is one of them. And I signed a three-fight deal, and that's it.
You said 3-fight or 2-fight?
3-fight.
3. I couldn't hear you. The connection's a little off.
Yeah, Croatia is far.
Yeah, it is far. This is a fight that everyone remembers. I mean, it's replayed over and over again. Of all your fights, and you've had some big wins, you've had some losses. Is this the one that bothers you the most? Is this the loss that really bugs you till this day?
Yeah, I think definitely that's my worst loss. And I just. I was excited when UFC suggested Gonzaga as the first opponent.
Yeah. Was that your idea as well, or was that their idea?
No, I didn't say that I want particular team, but I said I want to do a few rematches. But everybody knows who is on the list. People are other UFC contracts, and but they pick up the first one.
Sure. The timing of the whole deal was very interesting because just a couple of days before they announced that you were back, Scott Coker was saying that he was talking to you. Did that come into play at all? Like, was that almost good for you once they found out that Coker was talking to you? Did that maybe, get a negotiation going? You were able to use them as leverage?
I don't know. I don't think it has nothing to do with my discussion with Scott Coker. Scott Coker was a guest in Japan, and I met him in the hotel. We have a nice talk. He's a very nice person, and I know him since my Fridays. And he said that they are interested. Bellator is interested, but at the end of the day, I signed with UFC, and that's it.
Did it ever get serious with them, or not really, with Scott Coker?
Listen, doesn't matter right now.
Okay.
Doesn't matter now. The most important thing is that I'm fighting soon, and I'm training hard, and who cares? At the end of the day, who cares? Is it serious or not?
Fair enough. Your last fight against
you sound like police officer. Like you're investigating.
I ask a lot of questions. Yes, people get annoyed. So I'm sorry about that.
I'm joking. That's cool.
You know, I don't know if you remember last year that you were on this show, you were singing. We had you on for an hour. It was one of the greatest interviews of my entire career. Do you remember that? Do you remember me?
Yeah, of course I remember you.
Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure. Let's move along. You know, you had that win over Satoshi Ishii on December 31st, and it was classic Cro Cop. It was vintage Cro Cop with the big head kick knockout. Did that make you feel like, okay, I could still do this? I'm back. You know, some people are saying maybe it's time for me to retire. That was like we could have been watching a fight from 2004. Did you feel the same way?
I felt really good, you know, and I managed to recover my body completely, you know, but I mentioned that many times, you know. I feel really embarrassed to talk about it anymore. But I had 8 surgery altogether since my first fight in UFC, and of course, every surgery, you know, take you away 3-4 months away from training, and of course, my body was suffering. But last, let's say 6-7 months, I recovered completely for all kinds of injuries, you know, and I had problems recent, year and a half, almost 2 years. I had problems with discus hernia, and I managed to fix it also, you know, and I really feel great, and I really feel like I'm in 2000, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, you know, when I won Grand Prix, and I feel really good, you know. I have a new team around me. I'm training with a smile on my face, and this is what I want to do, and that's it. No big mystery, no big philosophy. That's my job. I like to do it, and UFC gave me an opportunity to do some rematches that I would like to do before I finally I went to the definitely retirement. But you know, I can't promise. Nobody can. This is MMA. One punch can turn the fight. But I will definitely die trying. And one thing is for sure: I will die trying, and I will be definitely in 100%. I will be 100% ready, and I will be in a top shape. And under that circumstances, I'm not afraid of anyone. I respect everybody. You know, they're all great fighters. You know, UFC has the best heavyweights in the world, and UFC is only one global organization, you know, and everybody wants to compete in UFC, and definitely top fighters are in the UFC, and I will do my best. That's it, you know. I have no pressure, you know, and even if I fail, which I don't think I will, but even if I fail, I will know one day I tried, you know. Yeah. I tried, you know, and that's how I work, that's how I function, that's how I think, and that's me, you know.
You don't want any regrets.
That's my life philosophy, and that's all. And but most important thing, I really feel great, and I really train harder than ever, you know. And you saw my last my New Year performance, you know. I really felt great, you know. Even Ishii was 13 years younger than I am, you know. He's gold Olympic winner, you know, and 8-9 fight winning streak, but I knocked him out, you know, and I was ready. I knew it is going to happen. Then when I'm ready, when I'm healthy, and then I believe in myself, and then everybody should be concerned.
Do you think that this UFC run now, the beginning of this new run in the UFC, will be your final stretch of your career? Like, you don't want to fight anywhere else at this point?
No. This will definitely will be my final run. Definitely. When I quit the UFC, it will be the end of my career. Definitely.
What about in kickboxing?
I'm 40. Listen, I'm 40 years old, but I feel really good. You know, I'm training all my life. I'm training 365 days a year. I'm training every day. If there is a day off, I'm doing easy jogging, just stretching, you know. I'm taking maximum care what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, about taking afternoon nap every day, you know. And I'm in the bed at 10 o'clock in the evening, and I sleep at least 8, sometimes 9 hours, you know. And I feel good, you know. I'm taking care for my body, you know. And under that circumstances, maybe it sounds pathetic, but under that circumstances, years are just the numbers, you know. Mm-hmm. There are many people, many sportsmen who are talking about sport. They are there at 30, 28, 29, 29. They don't live like professionals. They drink. They go out. They're smoking. And they're destroying their body. My body is in excellent shape. But unfortunately, I had bad luck with injuries. And what to say? My last fight in the UFC, 10 days before the fight. Last sparring, unbelievable. Last round of the last sparring for that preparation. Pat Berry came to help me. I was fighting with, help me now, I can't remember the name. Roy Nelson, And on the last round of the last sparring, I threw a hook, and my biceps and ligament was broken. Unbelievable. And nobody, I'm telling you now, nobody under that circumstances wouldn't take the fight. Everybody would cancel the fight. But I couldn't, I was waiting 6 months for that fight, and I just wanted to fight. I knew that I had to go for the surgery, definitely, and then it means that I'm out for the next 6 to 8, maybe 9 months, and I just wanted to take my chance. It was a stupid decision, of course, because you cannot fight with a fighter like Roy Nelson with one arm, but definitely, I had a bad luck, and now I'm completely now rehabilitated, and I'm completely healthy, and I feel good, and believe me, I'm training with a smile on my face after a long time, Especially I had problem with discus hernia and so many pain in the back, when I was throwing kicks, wrestling, and training was torture for me, But I was just used to train under that circumstances, but now I feel really good, and more or less that's it.
When was the last time you saw that fight against Gabriel Gonzaga, the first one?
When I saw it.
Yeah, when's the last time?
I don't know. Few days ago.
Few days ago.
Since I have a Facebook account on my iPhone, so on my wall there are coming all kind of videos, Yeah. So I just opened a video. It was from somebody put it from one. I don't know. Is it shared or I don't know. So they just put it. Some of my friends put it. So I saw it. I saw it before.
Does it make you sick?
Exactly what happened.
It was a shocking sight to see. Does it make you sick when you see it? The knockout and the way you fell?
No. No, it's okay. I can watch it without problem.
No problem. Wow. And have you been watching him? Like, you know what he's been doing as of late?
Yeah, I know. I already studied all his fights after we fought, and no big surprises. There will be no big surprises, and I know exactly what he's going to do and what he's doing. And
do you ever think about?
Things will be different. Things will be different this time,
Do you ever think about how your career might be a little different? I mean, you probably would have gotten a title shot had you won that fight against Randy Couture. That would have been a big fight. Do you think about those things?
No, I don't think it. It's life, Life can turn either way, So I don't think too much. What's the use of thinking this could be like this? Could be, but it didn't. So I don't want to waste time thinking about things. What could be?
Sure. How popular are you in Poland? This is the UFC's debut in Krakow. Is this a very big fight? Do you think a lot of people from Croatia will come to the fight?
To tell you the truth, I have no idea. I have no idea how popular I am in Poland, but definitely some people from Croatia will go there. How many of them? I don't know.
What was the reaction?
I really don't know. But
what was the reaction locally when they found that you were back in Croatia? What was the reaction from the media and the people? What did you hear?
Well, like always, some people was very excited about it. Some of my friends, some fans was very excited, very happy. And of course, there are always people, whatever you do, it's not good, Whatever you do. If I save the world or anyone else, why did he do it? He shouldn't save us. Whatever I do is not good, So there is always people like that. Whoever do anything, but I'm doing it. Listen, I'm representing myself. I don't take anyone's place, I don't. This is individual sport, and I'm presenting myself. I'm not a member of some national team, so I'm taking a place. younger fighter who could fight instead of me. But no, this is. I'm fighting for myself, of course. I will definitely do my best to promote my country, and I'm always fighting under my country's flag. But at the end of the day, it's my choice, my decision, and so. But I think I did the right decision, and because I really want to do it, I really want to do it.
Recently, correct me if I'm wrong, recently you trained with Stipe Miocic, right? Who's another Croatian fighter who looks up to you and has spoken very highly of you. Wasn't he recently?
No, I did. We didn't train yet. He is coming.
He's coming
in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He's coming in 2 weeks in Croatia, so we'll train.
Have you ever trained with him before?
No.
What do you know about Stipe? And if you do know anything about him, are you impressed with him?
We met this summer. He came to visit me in my house. He's one extraordinary person, really nice and humble guy.
Yeah.
And top fighter. He's really good. And he's young, and definitely big future is in front of him.
Yeah. So are you bringing him specifically for this fight, or were you guys planning on training together? No,
I bring him. It was also one of big minus of my career. I was always preparing since prior days, but I had no option, because I was. I wouldn't say too lazy, because there is nothing hard for me. I'm really like to train, and I'm really professional, and but I just can't go outside of Croatia to train.
Why?
I have 2 sons. I have a family here, and it would definitely kill me. First, many fighters are going. They're moving from the continent to another continent, from the state to the state. Of course, there is a huge benefit to train in a big camp. To have a opportunity to change sparring partners, but. It's just not option for me. I just can't go out of Croatia. It's stupid, I sound soft, but I just couldn't go. And I was always preparing. I was always managing to have either top jiu-jitsu fighter or top kickboxers.
Uh-huh.
But I never in my life prepare myself for a fight with a complete MMA fighter and the top one. Especially top one, and that's the key. You need to sparring is the key. Sparring is the key. You need to spar with complete MMA fighters. And Stipe definitely will exchange punches, kicks. He will try to take me down. I will try to take him down. We'll do ground and pound. Which is very limited when you are doing. 2 minutes in the round. I'm doing a kickboxing, and then I'm doing 2 minutes on the ground with top jiu-jitsu fighter. Doesn't matter, but. They are not MMA fighters. The kickboxer doesn't know. He doesn't know how to take me down. He doesn't threat me at all. And jiu-jitsu fighter, he doesn't know how to punch me on the ground. And I need a complete fighter who knows how to throw elbows on the ground, who knows how to do ground and pound. And all those things. That's very important in MMA fight.
It's very interesting to hear you say that you don't want to go home, and I definitely respect that, or go away from your home to train. Did you ever do that and really dislike it in your entire career? Did you ever leave Croatia?
I went a few times. It was maximum 1 week. One week maximum. I can stay in Amsterdam, for example, when I trained with Ivan Hippolyt. But it was torture for me. I had to stay in a hotel, eating some hotel food. There isn't food that I'm used to. So it was a great thing to train there. But when I compare it to the minus, food, stress, being alone there, and I just hate it. I just hate it. That's why I always try to get people. To get people in Croatia, and I managed to get them, but never top MMA fighter, And I need MMA sparring, not kickboxing mixed with some jiu-jitsu. No, I need MMA sparring, and MMA sparring with the top fighters like Stipe Miocic is a huge advantage for preparation.
Are you done kickboxing now?
I asked Stipe if he would like to help me, and he accepted, and that's a great.
Are you done kickboxing now? Is your kickboxing career over?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with kickboxing. MMA only.
No more. Not even one more. You're done. That's it.
No, I'm done with kickboxing. I'm not interested in kickboxing anymore, K1 doesn't exist anymore, and K1 doesn't exist anymore. Glory also was in some kind of problems, and kickboxing as a sport is in a big problems,
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay, and final question for you, Mirko, and this is a big joy for us. Thank you so much. I know sometimes they say that you don't like talking to the media, but I don't believe that. I actually think you do like talking to the media. You're very open with your comments. It's great.
Listen, that's not true. I was always professional. I always did what I was expected to do, but people don't get it, For my last fight in the States, for Glory, they don't understand. They put me one-on-one, 20 minutes. And okay, I finish interview, and the same interviews, same 99% of the questions are the same. Second one, and third one, and fifth one, and then the fifth one came with, and I had to repeat fifth time the same answer. I have to give same answers. I have to give for a fifth time, and it really frustrates me, And then I really don't like it, But you are the only one today, and this was actually the first interview before this fight, and I respect you a lot. I respect you a lot as a leading MMA journalist, and there is no problem. There is no problem, But sometimes, especially 2 days before the fight, when people want to talk to me hours, about some unimportant things, to start questioning me since I was a kid, and it frustrates me, But usually I'm really kind and a normal person. At least I believe so.
Yes, and I would agree, and I thank you for those kind words. I want to know: are we going with the right kick or the left kick in this fight?
No, I don't want to be arrogant. I will do my best to prepare. I'm already right now today in a very, very solid shape. But for the fight, I have to be in the shape of my life, and I really want that victory more than anything. Believe me, more than anything.
More than anything. In your entire career, you've never wanted a victory more than this one.
Exactly.
Wow.
This will be.
Why so much this one in particular?
Because definitely this was I told you before.
Yeah.
This was my worst loss,
Yeah.
And I really believe that I'm better fighter than Gabriel Gonzaga. I don't want to be big mouth, and I respect him. He's a great fighter, and but I will do my best. Definitely, he will do his best, and I'm definitely sure that we are going to perform a great show, and that the fans will be happy. And of course, I believe and I want, of course, to win that fight, and I will do my best. I will do my best to beat him.
And it must be inspiring to see kind of the older guys like Josh Barnett and Mark Hunt, who you fought. I mean, guys who were around doing well these days. That's got to inspire you as well, right? Andrei Arlovsky.
I said nothing to do. I'm not inspired, because I'm glad. I'm glad that my generation, like Hunt, we are same age. I'm glad that he's doing well, and I really am, and it proves that we are not dead, and especially not old, As I said before, if you live the way I live, and if you train the way I train, and if you take care for all kinds of things I'm taking care. In that case, the years are just the numbers.
We actually have Mark on the Skype right now. Is there anything you want to say to him? Old friend of yours.
Yeah, he's old friend of mine before 2 times, and my old brothers, say big hi to him, and I wish him all the best. That's all.
Mark, did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. Hey, Mirko, how are you, mate?
He said, "How are you, Mirko?"
Hey, I can't hear well,
Okay, I understand.
I'm fine, Mark. I'm fine. Thank you, my friend.
All right, great.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it is great to have him back. Mirko, thank you so much for the time. Best of luck to you on April 11th. Really looking forward to your return, and really appreciate you calling in. It means a lot to us. On Thursday, guys, it is a very special anniversary. One of the most important ones in the history of our sport. April 9th, 2005, arguably one of the most important fights in the history of mixed martial arts, and that is no hyperbole, certainly in the history of the UFC. The Ultimate Fighter 1 finale, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Of course, by now, if you're watching this show, if you're listening to it, you know what happened. It was Forrest Griffin versus Stephan Bonnar in one of the best fights of all time, and so important, as Dana White, Lorenzo Fertitta, and everyone involved in the UFC have discussed on many occasions. So important for revitalizing, resurrecting the UFC after that first season. A lot of unknowns, and it kicked everything off. I actually had the pleasure of rewatching it this morning on Fight Pass, and the emotion involved, and the heart, and the grit, and the determination is outstanding. It's something you rarely see in sporting events. And since it is the 10-year anniversary this Thursday, April 9th, I thought it would be wonderful to have both men on, two of the most important figures in the history of the UFC, on together to reminisce about this fight and this moment and what it meant for them and, of course, the sport. So I am honored now to welcome in both Forrest Griffin, who won that fight and the contract, and his opponent, the man he'll be linked to forever that night, Stephan Bonnar, who didn't win the fight but also won the contract. They're joining us right now via the phone. Forrest, are you there?
I am here. What's happening?
Stephan, are you there?
I'm here.
Wow, this is great. Thank you so much, guys, for doing it, and congratulations on this anniversary. Forrest, let's start with you. Is it surreal to think that it's been 10 years? Does it feel like it's been 10 years, less or more?
I would definitely feel like it's been 10 years. Yeah, I like the way you got that UFC Fight Pass in there. I was just going to say, you can watch it every day on UFC Fight Pass.
What a company man.
But, it's definitely been 10 years.
When's the last time?
Maybe 11. Maybe somebody counted wrong. I don't know. Maybe there's a leap year in there.
No.
11.
It's actually 10 years. When's the last time you watched it, Forrest?
Probably Kelowna, British Columbia, right? What's that? Oh yeah.
Kelowna, British Columbia.
Right, yeah. But I don't remember that. That didn't end well for me.
What's that, Stephan? What are you talking about,
It was an
Kelowna?
appearance we did.
Okay.
They showed the fight at a comedy club. Or no, it turned into it was a comedy club. And then we got up there and Forrest just started sucking down wine and really has a pretty good stand-up routine. But he's got to have a couple bottles of wine in him first. But it's really good, really funny.
Yep. Couple bottles of wine, and then probably when it was over, I went and vomited repeatedly.
Wow. I figured you to be a guy who can handle your alcohol better.
3 hours.
Stephan, what about you? What's it like for you to watch that? I mean, because at the end of the day, you did lose that fight, although no one almost really remembers that because you both won the contract and it's held in such high regard. But is it hard for you? Because I think deep down inside you thought you won the fight, right?
No, I knew it was close. I knew it could have went either way. So, I mean, he won, and I mean, I couldn't have picked a better guy to lose to.
Very well said. Okay, so I want to go back to that moment. I want to reminisce the whole thing because, again, like I said, I rewatched it this morning, and what a trip down memory lane it is. Stephan, let's start with you. What was it like backstage? Did you understand what was at stake here other than the contract? Did you know that perhaps the future of the UFC on Spike, the future of the sport, all this stuff that is being talked about 10 years later, did you know that it was that important to the company and the sport, or in your mind were you just trying to win a fight?
Yeah, I was just trying to go in there and put on a show and win a fight backstage. I remember Dana coming up to me, congratulating me. I just remember I really had to go to the bathroom. And I was in the stall, and all of a sudden someone's pounding on the door. Fighter's got a shit! Pound, pound, pound. Fighter's got a shit! Pound, pound, pound. I'm like, Diego, I'm a fighter too! And Diego's trying to bust in there.
That's your memory of backstage before the fight?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds about right. That sounds like, yeah.
What about you, Forrest? Anything that you remember in the moments leading up to the fight? What were you thinking?
Yeah, I was in, me and Kenny Florian were in the locker together. So the last thing I remember is Dana comes and says, hey, if it's close, we got to have a winner because of the contract, so there'll be a 3-minute overtime round. Oh. So, like, when the fight ends, both of us go back to our corner and, like, okay, overtime round.
You thought it was going into sudden death?
Yes, I thought, like, sudden death. Not even sudden victory, sudden death.
Wait, so you...
Yeah, I did too. That's why he first came and hugged me, and I was like, hey, wait, no hugs just yet.
Yeah, we're not done yet. Yeah, we got more to go here. And then, like, it clicked. I was like, oh, I saw my corner come in and like usher me to the chair, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Forrest, you mentioned that you were in the locker room with Kenny. He had just lost to Diego in the finals. So technically, Diego is the first ever Ultimate Fighter winner, although I think a lot of people remember it as you. Did that kind of mess with you at all? I mean, you were in the locker room with the guy who had just lost in the same kind of tournament.
I have always hated that. It kills the vibe, man. It is so, it's rough, It's, it's worse than killing the vibe when the condom rips. It's horrible.
What about for you, Stephan? You were there with Diego, so did that up your vibe a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, being in the same locker room as Diego really gets you pumped up, He's banging his head against the wall and punching himself in the face. Yeah, got me going.
And so when he walked back as the winner, did you have a moment with him, or at that point were you locked in?
Yeah, I locked in. I don't even remember him coming back.
So you guys walk out, and it's amazing looking back because you see you see a lot of celebrities for 2005 UFC. I see Kevin James there, Michael Clark Duncan. There are a bunch of other people that I noticed in the crowd. What was the atmosphere like in the arena or in the venue for us? Did it feel like, I mean, it wasn't the show, obviously, because there was no one there, but did it feel like anything you had ever experienced in your MMA career at that point?
Not really. It was bigger than anything. I'd fought in bigger arenas. It was a Cox Pavilion. I'd fought in bigger places, but, because of the way it is, it's actually kind of small, and it was, densely packed. It was a great venue.
What about for you, Stephan? Had you ever experienced anything in that moment? Did it get to you at all?
No, yeah, that was the biggest show I had fought in at that point. It was pretty surreal. I'd say that, and coming out to that arena, I think during the second round when everyone started stomping their feet and the place was shaking.
Yeah.
I'd say that and the fight in Machida and Jungle Fight were two of the most memorable venues for me.
And great call, Forrest. Great memory. It was, in fact, the Cox Pavilion. The host hotel was the Hard Rock, but the fight took place at Cox. Do you recall, Stephan, that Bruce Buffer mispronounced your name both times before and after the fight? He kept calling you Stephen Bonnar?
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, I don't mind that. He threw the American Psycho in there.
Sure.
Thanks to Charles Lewis, a.k.a. Matt.
I was like, don't piss the guy off if I'm going to fight him. Don't piss the guy off. Right? Come on, man,
You remember this.
Let's make him happy. Let's relax him, Could he have a very passive nickname the American Quilter?
Forrest, did you guys have this great relationship on the show and during the lead up to the fight when you were off the show, or did it only develop after what you experienced together in the cage?
Yeah, we didn't really socialize on the show at all, or even after. I sized up the 2 or 3 biggest threats right away. I knew he was the guy. I knew, and so why get close to the guy if he's on the other team? At some point you're going to end up fighting him. We sort of clung to the people we either had already fought or didn't think we'd fight. Different weight classes.
So, Stephan, you look back at
go
ahead.
We got closer after that fight. After that fight, the sport blew up, and they sent us around, and we did a lot of PR together. So we were always
even
together,
even in the emergency room that night.
Yeah, my wife went and got us Delta.
PR.
Yeah, getting stitched up together.
Wait, what was that? Did you guys actually share the hospital room together?
Yeah, we did.
That's amazing. I don't know if I ever knew that.
He was he was 2 over, so I just walked over. I was like, hey, man, what's up? How you doing? What you got? I was like, dude, you messed my nose up.
Was it broken?
I don't know how broke. Everybody's like, I got a broken nose. Here's what I know. I have a bump on my nose that it was not there before. There's a big knot in my nose that was never there before that day. So I'm assuming that's what a broken nose is.
Stephan, did you hold, you guys were friendly afterwards, but did you hold any resentment? I mean, you just lost the fight. You got the contract, but you wanted that W as well. Was it tough for you to swallow in the moment?
No. I mean, all you could do is go in there and give it your best, and that's what I did. And, I was genuinely happy for him. He fought a great fight, and I even said that right afterwards. And it's like, man, I'm so happy for you. Fucking way to push through it, because I knew in that second, I had him hurt, and he made it through it, and he won the third. So,
Forrest, what was going through your mind in between the first and second round? Because in particular in the second, even the announcers were noting this, you seemed tired. They were saying that you were gassing out, you couldn't lift your arms.
Oh, I absolutely gassed. I was done in that second round. Like, I felt great the first round. I felt sharp. I felt quick. And then, I always tell the tale. Like, when I'm talking to somebody, I kind of went for that arm bar at the end of the first round.
Yes.
And I made the biggest mistake. I expended a lot of energy and quit breathing when I was going for it because I was like, oh, hey, I can just get this arm bar. And then I didn't get up off the mat right away. I laid on the mat for about 20 seconds. So when I sat on the stool, it felt to me like, I only had 30 seconds on the stool. So it felt to me like I basically sat down and like, okay, next round. I was like, no, wait. I didn't get my break. And, it's kind of like, well, Forrest, you decided to lay on the canvas for 20 seconds. And I was like, oh my God. Wait, no. So I just needed a minute. So the stoppage for blood was the best thing that happened to me.
That's right.
I was so gassed. I just, I was just like, all right, I'm going to take this off my face. I'm going to take this off my face, too. And I'm going to take this off my face. So I was lucky. I got that takedown. And when I was from the top, it just I started pouring blood on Stephan, and the ref was like, oh, we gotta do something about that.
Stephan, did you notice he was that tired? And when they stopped it to check his cut, were you disappointed that he was essentially getting a chance to recuperate?
No, really, I felt good up until I think it was after that. Yeah, we started fighting again, and I got a little break too. So I started letting my hands go. I remember hitting him with a knee and then nice right hand, and then I got really excited, like, oh, I got him, and I jumped in with a right hand, missed. And he tied me up, and I was just thinking, keep my arms loose, finish him, and I wiggled away. And once I broke loose from that, then it hit me that I was cast out too. So, at that point, it was just I was done.
So you were you were equally as tired.
He gassed maybe like a minute or so before me.
Okay.
So I felt good. I knew he was gassed, and then I tried to put him away. And I didn't, and he tied me up. I got loose, and then all of a sudden it was like...
He gassed himself punching me repeatedly. That's how you do it. The old Bugs Bunny strategy. You let him hit you until you get exhausted.
Forrest, on the broadcast, they mentioned that you had put everything that you owned in 8x10 storage unit. What did they mean by that? Like, you had to move out, and you had nowhere to live leading up to this fight?
Well, I just moved from Augusta back to Athens to be near better training, to train at the hardcore gym, and I put all my stuff in a storage unit that I never paid the fee on. So if you ever see a bunch of, 2004 Cop stuff and some baseball cards, those are mine on that, the auction thing.
Yeah.
So I just, never paid the storage. And then by the time I had enough money to pay the storage, I was like, man, that stuff's not even worth it so much as it would cost me to get it out of storage. I just think just keep it.
So you never got it back?
No, there's a couple of flashlights,
Yeah.
It was nothing good.
I'm surprised that never popped up on eBay or something like that. Forrest Griffin stuff before the Tough One finale.
When they would do those storage wars, I would watch and come on, be my stuff. Are they doing one in Augusta, Georgia? There's not a live storage wars in Augusta, Georgia.
Stephan, when the fight is over and you guys are both covered in blood and you're tired as hell and the place is going nuts, what's going through your mind? Do you sincerely believe that you had done enough to win that fight?
Oh, yeah, I thought, honestly, I knew it was close, so I knew it was just kind of a toss-up, and, I thought there was a chance I could get the nod, and, and then when he got the nod, it was just like, I can't even say I was that disappointed. I just put everything into it, and it was kind of like, oh, gosh. And, and I went down kind of just because I was so tired. I gave it my all, but, I wasn't bitter about it. That's how close fights go, Someone gets the nod.
In the back of your mind, did you think there was a chance at all that you could get a contract as well if you just have a great fight? Because now, it seems like we didn't know what to expect from that finale. Now, if you just have a solid run on the show, you're getting some kind of contract. But what did you think when they announced
honestly, at that point, it was like, in my mind, it was like, the winner goes on to fight in the UFC and gets the contract, As far as I was concerned, when I lost the decision, in my mind, I was like, okay, well, hey, now what am I going to do with my life? This was a good experience. I had fun, but, time to move on. And, yeah, I really was kind of, thinking about, what I was going to do next outside of fighting. I kind of caught me by surprise.
You got to look at it in terms of 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
There's only 20 guys in the UFC at that weight. There's only 2 to 3 UFCs a year. So if you're not one of the main guys in UFC, you're not making a living doing it, There's only, it's like Chuck, he only defended his title like 5 times. There's only like 8 fights during his run, There's only 2 fights a year, 3 fights a year. So it wasn't like everybody could just make a living fighting in the UFC.
So you were thinking the same thing, Forrest. You thought it was do or die for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I actually after the fight, I knew that like they'd want me back no matter what, win or lose. I was like, yeah, they're gonna want me to do that again.
Do you recall the crowd booing and yelling bullshit, bullshit? They weren't happy. I don't remember that. I watched it today and I was like, wow, the crowd was actually pretty upset with the decision. Do you remember that, Forrest?
Not at all. I don't remember that at all.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yes, go to FightPass.com, UFCFightPass.com, another cheap plug.
UFCFightPass.com.
And rewatch the ending. It's unbelievable. They were actually chanting, it's audible, bullshit, bullshit, and booing. I don't remember that.
That was probably just my brother and my best friend, actually.
It was pretty loud.
Yeah, his brothers were by the camera. They were like, oh, that's crazy talk. I remember coming out and like everybody like, one of the first times in my life, like people like rushed forward, like to hug me and like, I just remember a guy handing me a beer and I was like, oh, thanks, bro. And I started drinking the beer and the athletic commission guy runs over and says, you got to take a drug test right now. What are you doing? I was like, oh, oops. I just gave it back. I was like, all right, okay. Don't drink beer before the post-fight drug test. Got it.
Stephan, what about, do you remember this? Do you remember Bruce Buffer kind of waxing poetic, saying like, you have just witnessed stuff he never does now?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool coming from him. Yeah, it was like, it said something to the terms of like, just witnessed like the most exciting action ever inside the octagon. I was like, oh, are you sure, man? That Pedro Hizo Couture fight was pretty awesome.
It's fun. It's really funny because he never does that sort of thing now. Of course.
No, it's a different audience. It's a different market. It's tighter. It's for time. It's a tighter show, especially when it's on TV. It's a different. We're gonna wax nostalgic about a bygone era. And that was really cool that he did that. It made the event that much better. I was fired up.
And to take it one step further, I mean, even when Dana announced that Stephan was also getting the contract, Bruce is in the back cheering. It was almost like this family event. Like you guys were at one of those like softball games and everyone was rooting for you. There's something you never see now, of course, but it was like they all had been through it, the struggles, and here they are, and in their mind they knew, wow, something special just happened. It's very surreal to rewatch it because even, Dana is so young and Dana's doing the post-fight interview. Rogan didn't even do it. Do you remember that? I mean, it felt very familial, if you know what I'm saying. Neither of you know.
Well, Rogan interviewed us. But then Rogan interviewed Dana.
Are you sure? Because I just rewatched it, and there's no, unless they cut it out, there's no Rogan interview.
Yeah, they must have cut it out. He did interview me.
That's weird. Yeah, because I remember him having the mic, and I remember saying just a couple things. Like, it said something like, I love you, D'Andrea, and we're going to walk around like two ugly SOBs now. But yeah, that was when I pulled the mic from Rogan and said that. Yeah, I don't think he actually asked me anything. I think he just grabbed the mic.
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's a good fight. Like when the guy comes in and before he can ask a question, you start talking. You're like, hey, all right.
Yeah.
He's trying to ask a question. You're like, no. Give me that mic.
Forrest, you got a Scion And you also got a watch from the Jewelers of Las Vegas, which you then promptly, when Dana gave it to you, you said, I could pawn this.
That's what Stephan will tell you. He actually is mad about the Scion. He did need a car, but we were both in dire need of a car, too.
So you were excited about that?
Yeah, I needed a car at that point. My car was junk, and it was also property of a tow yard, and I had to pay a bunch to get it out. It wasn't even worth that money. So I was really hoping for a car.
Forrest, did you actually pawn the watch? Because you said that, and it was very audible.
No,
you said,
I never did.
Okay.
In fact, I now wear it. I just got it like cleaned and got a new band for it, and now I wear it. You know, when you're working out 3 times a day, jewelry has no purpose. But now it's like, hey, wear a nice watch.
Wait, you actually have you have the watch? You still have it?
I have the watch. I have the Scion.
Wow.
There was a dirt bike, I think.
Yes.
It looked like a mini bike. Somebody stole that out of my parents' garage, I think. I don't know.
Yes. Dana said to you when he gave you the bike, please don't ride this thing. Did you ever ride it?
No, I never did. I never saw it. It was like a mini bike anyway.
Yeah.
I never saw it, so I don't even know.
Stephan, how are you going to celebrate April 9th this Thursday? Are you going to do anything to commemorate this moment? This changed your life.
Yeah, I'm probably going to egg Forrest's house or something. He'd be at eggs.
Yeah.
Key is Scion.
When's the last time?
You keyed my Scion. It's got like 300,000 miles on it. I'll buy it off you now.
When's the last time you guys hung out?
We could share it. I just got to get a new windshield. I haven't paid my fees on it. I got to get a new windshield and a new tires.
When's the last time you guys hung out with each other?
We shot a United Nissan commercial like a week ago or less.
What kind of commercial?
United
Nissan.
Oh, wow. The car?
Yeah.
Like a car, yeah. A car dealership.
This is a national commercial or just for Vegas?
Just for Vegas.
Local.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so we've been shooting those now. We probably shot about 5 together.
And of course,
we've done a bunch, yeah.
Famously, Stephan named his son after you, Forrest. What was your reaction when you found out about that?
Well, he just, it's also a cool man.
Sure, of course.
It's like, if I turn out to be a total douche, Griffin's actually just a cool name. And, family guy. So it's not like you named the son after me. Griffin Bonnar, that has a very, fortunately, his son is
got a good ring to it.
Sure.
I always hear that. Griffin Bonnar.
It's very masculine. It's like hyper masculine. I was worried that he never said Griffin Bonnar, and he'd be like a little bookworm type kid, be like Griffin Bonnar. Like, oh, I thought you'd be bigger.
Sometimes people have mixed feelings about sequels, and sometimes they're just kind of erased from our memory. And, of course, you guys fought each other a second time, but no one ever talks about that fight. Stephan, would you prefer it be that way? I mean, it didn't quite live up. It was almost impossible to live up to the first one, right?
Yeah. I mean, that night, I really didn't want to be there. I was supposed to get elbow surgery, and I'm not putting elbow surgery off. I just fought 3 times in 4 months, and kind of was a wreck. So I was I didn't go for it. It was more like
it was 6 weeks notice too, right?
Yeah.
I was scheduled to do a USO tour, in the middle, right before the fight. I was scheduled to go, do a 3-week USO tour, and I was fired up, getting visas and paperwork, and they were like, "Oh no, you're gonna fight on this," But it was a Chuck Liddell card, so I was like, "All right, that'll be cool."
Did you guys see? Go ahead, sorry.
I remember 10 days out, I got a cut over my left eye. It had 12 stitches or something. Dana flew me out to Vegas to have his doctor look at it, and he's like, "Yeah, he can't fight." So
wow.
It was actually called off. Then I went out to the Cubs game with my dad, and I was drinking, and then I got a call from Dana, we really need this fight, And then I was like, yeah, what the hell? So that was another concern in the fight. I was like, I don't want him to bust his cut open. I better not be too aggressive.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but just a couple of weeks ago on our website, there was a big feature on Jason Thacker. Do you remember Jason Thacker?
Yes, dude, that was an awesome story.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was. It was written by Chuck Mindenhall, so I want to give him the credit. Are you? What were your emotions, Forrest?
And after reading it, I can see that Chuck Mendenhall, in his writing style, also likes to rip off Hunter S. Thompson.
I do.
I'm not the only writer that rips off Hunter S. Thompson. That's good.
But what do you think? I mean, he's gone through a lot since that, and it unlike you guys, it wasn't, it was maybe life-changing in a bad way for him. And I'm just wondering what you guys thought about reading someone who's still sort of struggling with the aftermath of being on that show. Did you have any idea?
No. It's funny. Me and a friend, our mutual friend Alex Schoenhauer, we used to joke like the Thacker, wasn't really cut out to be a fighter, but then like you'd be in a hospital somewhere and be like paging Dr. Thacker, and it'd be like him. He'd show up, or like you'd be like getting your car serviced, and it'd be like Jason Thacker, just that he'd like pop up in some random place,
What about you, Stephan? Have you read that?
Where's Waldo from?
No, but Forrest was telling me about it. Sad to hear that. I didn't know. I guess on the show he was like on a bunch of different antidepressants, and they didn't let him take those, right?
Correct.
Yeah. What's the? Do you know the deal with that? Because I'm 100% certain if you tell people like you're on a lot of drugs, they won't put you on reality shows.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah, or they'd at least make sure you had your medication. But
I mean, usually there's like a big liability. Like what I'm thinking is that maybe he wasn't quite upfront about the medication at first,
Mm-hmm.
Because that's an easy eliminator. Oh, you're on a bunch of medication. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe, it's 2004, man. Maybe things were different.
Yeah, it was the Wild West as far as reality.
Society. Yeah, it's a good point, yeah.
Okay, so let's end on this. When you think back to that moment, Forrest, when you think back to the fight, the night, everything that changed your life, what's the moment that sticks out? What's your favorite thing that happened that night?
Oh, man. That's a tough one, man. Probably in the second round when I was just gassed. And, after they kind of restarted us and the people started stomping, and I found just a little bit more. That was one of the coolest things that ever happened to me.
How about you, Stephan?
Probably the hanging out in the emergency room. I really remember that. And then I had never tried Viagra before, and then Forrest gave me a Viagra that night, and I tried it. So
really? Did I? I don't remember. I know I always had a bunch.
Yeah, you did.
I never had one of these. A long time ago before I met my wife.
What a good friend. That's what friends are for, right there.
Great guy.
And so let's end on this because you're the bunch. You're the last one to fight, Stephan. You still got another one in you, or are you done?
Unless something like really comes along that sparks my interest, because I was pretty content being retired before, and then Bellator offered me Tito like right away, and I was like, oh God, like, you know what? That sounds like fun, and it was fun in there. And he gave me a good fight. As much as I hate him, he pushed me, and I had to dig deep, and it was a good fun fight. But just all the other stuff, all the training and preparation and cutting weight, like that isn't fun anymore. I used to really enjoy that. It just wasn't as fun, all the wrestling. And one thing you don't want to be said when you're at the end of your career and, it's your last fight coming out of retirement, you don't want to set a record for the most amount of weight cut the day of weigh-ins, which I did. I cut like 19 pounds in 4 hours. It's something you want to do early in your career. So sure, it's a new personal RPR for me, personal record, but I don't think you should be doing that at the end of the career.
Good point. Hey, by the way, Forrest, last thing to you. Is it true that you lied about your age on the show?
Wait, who? Which one? Me?
Yes, Forrest.
Yeah.
No comment.
Absolutely.
You did?
Okay, yeah. No, I said, wait. What Stephan said.
Okay, fair enough. We will leave it at that. And I want to remind everyone that starting today on UFCFightPass.com. They are turning it into Forrest Pass. All kinds of great content.
Correct.
You can watch the show. They have retrospective documentaries. The full season is available. And also, Forrest is on there picking and introducing his favorite fights. So it's Forrest Pass. And a small little anecdote, you guys don't remember this, but for the Tough 3 finale in Las Vegas, that card was headlined by Kenny Florian and Sam Stout. I was working as like a production assistant for a company that was contracted by SpikeTV.com to produce the Tough 3 finale pre-fight show on SpikeTV.com, and I got to work with you guys. It was the first...
Yeah, we did that. I remember that.
Yeah, it was the first UFC event that I ever attended in person, and it was such a thrill for me to work with both of you. You were the host. It was a lot of fun, so I thank you for that memory, and I thank you for coming on the show to reminisce. Congratulations, Mazel Tov, on the 10-year anniversary this Thursday. Enjoy it, and thank you for everything that you guys did for us. This moment will be one we'll never forget, and it's certainly, and in my opinion, I don't think it's over exaggerated. I certainly think that it helped keep the UFC alive. So from all the UFC fans, from all the MMA fans, thank you to both of you.
Who cares? That's what we're going to tell people anyway. And thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Stephan.
Thanks.
Mazel tov.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
There they
Salute.
are.
Thanks, guys.
Forrest Griffin, Stephan Bonnar, we will never forget it. It has been, honestly, it has been a year since I've been trying to get our next guest on the program. And then when the news broke that he was finally going to be inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame, I thought, wow, this is my chance. And while it took some time there, we finally got it done. I am so excited. I am so honored. I just can't even put into words just how great it is to say BJ Penn, the prodigy, is joining us right now on the phone, right here on the MMA Hour. BJ, are you there?
What's going on, Ariel?
Wow. It is so great to hear your voice. Did you know I've been trying to reach you for a year? Every angle possible. Your brother, your mother, Rich. Finally, the great Ant Evans made it happen. He was the only one who could get it done. Thank you so much for coming on. It's so great to have you on the show.
Great to be on the show. Right on, Ariel. Great to be on the show.
So congratulations on this big news. You are being inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame on July 11th. What was your reaction when you found out that, all right, here it comes, Hall of Famer BJ Penn?
I was very excited. You know, a great way to go out and a great way to kind of just, finish it up and, put myself at ease a little bit. But, you know what was even better than getting inducted? Well, I don't know. I didn't get inducted yet, though. But what was even better was just everybody's positive support from it. You know what? I didn't get any, any backlash or any this and that. It was just everybody's so positive, and it was a very nice way to end the show. Backlash?
Who would disagree with you going into the Hall of Fame? Did you really think anyone would have a problem with this?
No. I don't know. I guess sometimes I'm a very controversial man, and but everything was very positive and was very well taken by me.
Who called to tell you the news? How did you find out?
Dana actually.
Wow.
Dana let me know.
And what was that like? Considering your history with him, and I know it's a lot better now, but a guy that you've been very close with, you had your ups and downs, and you ended, on a good note. What was it like to hear it from him? And what did you guys talk about?
He just said, to keep it. I think he was keeping a date from me for a little bit, but he said to, keep it quiet, or they're gonna do something, and they don't let me know, because of BJPenn.com, they don't let me know ahead of time what's going on. So they really got to push it out there before I get it out there.
What's going on over there with BJPenn.com? Are you happy with it's a controversial website? You know this, right?
Controversial, as in, well, that's all we do. We just push news out of there, and I think it's a different type of website. It's not affiliated to anybody. It's not affiliated with the UFC. It's not affiliated with USA Today. It doesn't have any big affiliation with anybody. It's very independent.
Right.
The thing about BJPenn.com, it's very, very independent. We don't have anybody leading us in any way with whatever we do. Of course, I have friends in the industry, of course. That's how we could be led, by friends of ours. But, besides that, we're that's all it is. It's just an independent news agency, and we do all right traffic.
Yeah, I would imagine, especially with your name attached to it. So like I said, I've been trying to get you on this show for a year. I wanted to talk to you. We missed you. We got a guy in the back there, New York Rick, who's probably your biggest fan. This guy, he worships you back there. I want to know, what has the last year been like for you? What have you been doing since your fight against Frankie Edgar?
I just been hanging out in Hilo, watching the kids, and just cruising. Whatever businesses I got going, I'm just trying to take care of those as much as I can, and I try to keep myself either busy physically or something. I really like to be involved with business. I mean, hence you see bjpenn.com out there, trying to make a buck, and it's just moving forward with whatever I got going.
Do you miss the fight game?
You know what I don't miss? I don't miss 3-month training camp. I don't miss that. I don't miss fight week. I don't miss the 3-month training camp. I don't miss fight week. But I do miss being the baddest man on the planet.
You ever get that itch? You ever see a fight, an opponent, and say, I could fight that guy. I could beat that guy?
Oh, I think that all the time. And then I see Mike Tyson's coming back now against James Toney.
Yeah, I don't know if that's 100%.
But you know what's amazing, though, is... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Ariel.
No. I was just going to say, I'm not sure if it's 100%, but yes, I've seen those reports as well. And he's obviously older than you.
Yes, and it does blow me away, though, when I see, Verdum just got the belt at 37, and then you see Mark Hunt still fighting at 40, and, all these different things. And, it is amazing. I don't know. It's just, they're out there, they're doing it. You know what? Looking all these years back, it ain't the speed, it ain't the technique, it ain't the power. It's who wants it the most, and that's over time. Maybe as you start getting into it, the people start coming along that love it more than you do. And but here you go. You got like Mark Hunt, he was right there for a title shot, and he and he stayed around for he had a couple of losses when he got to the UFC. He stayed in it, and he was one fight away from a title shot. So, he was in the title. He was in the interim fight, right?
Sure, yeah, he fought. Yep.
Yeah, he was in the fight. Yeah. So look at that. When I see stuff like that, I'm like, man, tell me if you didn't just stick around for a little while, something would just click, and you just you'd be back.
Of course,
on top,
you also
or one fight away or whatever.
Yeah, and you have Robbie Lawler, who's a champion. You have Barnett, who's coming back.
That's what I mean.
It's crazy.
It is.
What about how it all ended in Las Vegas around a year ago? I mean, a lot of people, including myself, would say that's not the BJ Penn that we remember, that we loved so much. It just didn't seem like it was you out there. I don't know if it was the weight cut, the technique, the game plan. Does that bother you that it ended like that?
No, definitely. That was in my mind for a long time. But I'm sitting here right now. The first thing that a fighter would want to do at a time like that is go right back into training camp and I got to go do this again, I got this and that. But I do feel that it is one of my, I do feel that something I'm proud of as I sit here right now, that I can just kind of let stuff like that, kind of go. But as being a fighter, it is hard, but if you're not standing in the octagon, then you must be retired,
Do you still watch the sport and follow it? Do you get excited about the fights, or is it too hard to watch them?
There's so many fights now. I of course I can't keep up with everything, but I'll watch a big title fight, and I'll watch. I know the Hawaii fighters and I know the champions. That's about what I know. And then as far as watching on television or keeping up, and then of course bjpenn.com, I'm going to check that, so I kind of know little stuff going on. But if I'm going to sit down and change my day or take a Saturday and turn it on, it's probably going to have to be like John Jones versus Cormier, or Cain Velasquez versus Verdum. I didn't even get to see that fight, but it can't just be a regular title fight. It's got to be two guys with one of the old must go kind of thing. I always want to see the best fights.
Sure. A lot of fans have asked me to ask you this question. Of course, you have retired from the UFC. It sounds like that's, pretty secure. But what about a Metamoris, an IBJJF, something like that? Are you interested in going back to your grappling roots so fans can still see you in action?
I would honestly, in the last year, I haven't really even. I don't think I went in the gym and I did some cardio and some stuff, but honestly, I haven't even done martial arts this last year. I've just been kind of relaxing and just catching up with stuff that I missed out on in life. And instead of being in the gym all the time, I get in the gym and do cardio and stuff for my health and try to, stay healthy with that kind of stuff. But I haven't even, the truth is I haven't even done martial arts this year.
Oh, okay. So has
stop by in the gym and just a little stuff, yeah.
Maybe in the future, you think? Because you're a young guy.
Well, I guess I'm young if you see that the guy just won the UFC heavyweight championship at 37, right?
Right.
I don't know. It's just how much you're into it, and maybe sometimes it's not age, it's miles.
Right.
You have a car, yeah. So who knows? Never know.
But you don't think you'll ever fight again, right?
Yeah, I don't see myself with a strong will to want to. You never know. You never know what the future could hold. You never know what could pop up. But yeah, I got no desire to jump into a training camp and try to go out there.
Wouldn't it be something? We have this sort of second coming of a great Hawaiian fighter in the form of Max Holloway, representing Waianae, right? The great city of Waianae. Wouldn't it be something if he can get finally the UFC to come to Hawaii? I don't know if you'll fight in it, but that would be pretty cool for you, right?
That would be awesome. What
do you think of Max?
I'll definitely go and watch.
What do you think of Max?
I think Max is a great guy and very confident, and he's on it. He's on it right now. I just stay to what he's doing and stay focused, and I will not be surprised at all to see that guy walk through everybody as time goes on. And he's still so young. He's still only 20 years old.
I think he's a little older than 20, but he's still.
Yeah, what is he now? Is he 22, 23?
He's under 25 for sure. So he's
okay.
He's got a long ways to go. So now that you could put a bow on your entire career, what would you say was the greatest moment? What's the moment that you think about maybe when you're sleeping, your head is on your pillow, you're saying goodnight to the day. What's that moment that, wow, if I could just go back to that moment? Yeah.
My greatest moment in my whole career is when I became the first non-Brazilian to win the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu World Championships.
Wow.
That was my greatest moment.
So not UFC related, not the belts, nothing.
Yeah, my martial arts career.
Why is that?
That started it all, and it's just kind of like you hope, and when they go and look back at judo, like, hey, who was the first guy that won in Japan that wasn't Japanese, and that's, kind of, as time goes on, it means more and more to me.
Wow. And what about any regrets? Anything you look back and say, I wish I did this differently?
Too few to mention.
Really? But I mean, you can walk away with your head held high, right? I mean, we all have regrets in our life, but I don't think it's anything that really eats you up inside, is it?
That's as life goes on, life just gets harder, and that's the mark of a man, just keeping your head up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not taking the easy way out. Yeah, just keep your head up.
So you're going to be in Las Vegas for the induction on July 11th, and then we have one of the most anticipated fights ever later on that night, UFC 189, Aldo versus McGregor, and I think it's very apropos that you're being inducted because you're the man who put the lightweight fighters on the map. I mean, if it wasn't for you, who knows if we even have an Aldo or a McGregor? It's a nice tie-in. Do you have any thoughts on these fighters? I know Aldo, there's a connection there from Novo União, but what about McGregor? This is a guy who's taken the sport by storm. Are you a fan of his?
You know what? I'm BJPenn.com is definitely a fan of Conor McGregor, right? With the traffic that he brings in on different stuff.
Right.
No, I'm definitely enjoying this whole build up to this whole fight. Conor's keeping it interesting, and Aldo's the greatest of all time for the featherweight. So I'm very excited. I want to see what happens.
Who do you think wins?
This whole thing with Aldo's rib, I don't know what's going to happen with the whole fight and everything. But I don't know, maybe it's just, maybe it is Conor's time, and maybe he is that good. Maybe it's just, maybe he's not that good at all. I still don't know. A lot of times I'll be sitting next to someone who doesn't know the sport that good, and they look at me, they're watching, and they look at me and say, what do you think about that? What just happened? And I'll say the same thing that you thought, So I'm kind of just as the same as everyone else. We're going to find out if Conor's the real deal still.
Have you ever fought with injured ribs?
Yeah, yes, of course. I mean, you going into a fight, I mean, are you ever going to get a chance to go in 100% to a fight? No, and if you're not hurt, then you probably didn't train hard enough or whatever, But, it's a strange thing that news is already out there.
Yeah.
And because if you did have a hurt rib, you'd be hiding it, right?
Sure.
You wouldn't be telling everybody, and then do it anyway. So it's just, it's a controversial night period, I guess.
Right. So I hear that you live. I guess you live like in the woods or something. It's very hard to reach you, right? You have you live in an area where the cell reception isn't great, right?
Oh yeah. No, we have a little farm down there, but I'm in Hilo and I'm over there a lot, either side. But the other place at Whitefield Valley, they don't have too much. Doesn't have any good cell reception out there.
Are you happy? Are you happy?
Yes.
Well, that's good.
Very.
That's great to hear. BJ, I got to say, as I say goodbye, I'm getting a little emotional. I miss you, and I've tried so hard to get you on this show for the past year, and I'll never forget just how nice you were to me. As I could be selfish here for a second, having you on my show. I'll never forget in Australia when you said that you wanted a percentage, and I'll still hold you to that. I have no problem with hooking you up with that, and you've just been so great. They don't make them like you, and I think everyone misses you. It's really great to see that you're being inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. I'm so happy that they're finally recognizing you and that you're going to get to be a part of UFC 189. You deserve to be there. And I hope that everyone comes out there to celebrate you because you deserve that as well. One of the greatest ever. And it's amazing when I hear fighters talk about you with such admiration. You've meant so much to so many people. It's just really nice to see. And it's so great to hear your voice. Honestly, I say that sincerely. So I really want to thank you for coming on the show. And I want to congratulate you on this great honor. And I hope to see you on July 11th.
Hey, thanks for all the kind words, Ariel. Thank you very much.
Okay. And
same here.
Yes, easy, brother, and say hello to your family, especially your mother.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Ariel, you take it easy. You take care. We'll talk soon.
All right, there he is. I hope we will talk sooner rather than later. There he is, BJ Penn. Amazing stuff from him. And honestly, I've been trying to get him on the show for quite some time, really a year. I really got emotional there for some reason. The UFC 2015 Hall of Fame induction ceremony will take place Saturday, July 11th at 11 a.m. on the main stage at the UFC Fan Expo. It is free to anyone who has an Expo ticket. If you are one of the unlucky ones who can't be in Las Vegas for the UFC Fan Expo or UFC 189 or the Tough Finale or Invicta on Thursday, well, you can watch it live on UFCFightPass.com. It will be a 1-hour show, and what I'm told is it will be unlike the previous Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. Remember, there's a whole new system in play. 4 wings. We have the fight, pioneer, modern day, modern era, legend. BJ Penn going in as modern era.